What's up, buddy?
What's up with you, buddy?
Oh man, just another day, another dollar, another taxed dollar, if I will. Yeah.
Oh
Even
man.
on a Sunday, I'm still working, so it is what it is. Living the dream. But yourself, how's your day?
Pretty good. Pretty busy earlier. Had that emergency meeting. Well, I mean, you were there with
Hmm. Yeah.
Nick straightening some things out. Several mistakes made in the calculations. That's good. I mean, the community jumped in, was like, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, it
Something
looks like the
right here.
questions were asked and and answers were given. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I thought it was pretty good. It was a good meeting.
And then I also got the opportunity, and I thank them all for letting me join. I got the opportunity to be a part of the backers
Oh
meeting
yeah,
that they
that's
had
right.
with Nick.
How
So
did that go?
it seemed like I think Nick started off giving a little bit of statements about what his thoughts were and what he was trying to do, and all that kind of stuff. And they like took it in, and he didn't go too long. And then pretty much everybody got the opportunity to speak. And then I was just listening, and um, they pretty much, I thought it was great because they they went to they let it all hang out, man. They put it all out there. They didn't sit around and be like, well, we would like this, or they had full explanations, full on discussions behind the scenes. They were prepared. They came out, they had a discussion. Nick um gave him some suggestions, some ideas, things like that, and then they collaborated the whole entire time. And then just like floored me. They're like, so what do you think, Chris? And I'm like, what? But at one point I was like, wait, if that's the way you guys are going to do it, I'm going to go get a bunch of backers light nodes, and I'm
Oh
going to.
really? Okay. Well,
And
that's cool.
so and I was like, they were like, no. Hold on a second. That's so it worked out really well. I thought they got to collaborate with him well, and they seemed to be happy when they left. And well, I wouldn't say like happy jumping for joy, but they were like, you know what, we got the opportunity to speak. We put it out there. This is what we agreed on. They did a little bit of a short summary, and then I think our buddy um, Eris, he pretty much pulled it all together, and
Mhm.
it was pretty good. It was pretty good. And it was great to see them too. It was like, today was very good for me because a lot of people that I've been friends with and talked with over the last few months, I actually got to meet face to face, so that was quite enjoyable. Actually like that more
So
than.
it was like a backstage camera on face type,
Yeah,
or
they all had the camera on, and they all
oh, that's
were
so cool.
discussing, and they were all like, they were serious. And it was um they were they took it very serious, and they understood that they had a community that was behind them, that they were speaking for too. A lot of times they would stop and say, well, this is how I feel, but the community feels this way. Not that it was contrary, but it was more like, I'm getting my feelings and my impressions from the people I've talked to in the community. So I thought that was great.
It's good. No, I'm happy to hear that.
But and
People
Nick,
showed up.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but Nick
Mhm.
is going to be dropping by in a little bit and give us a little overview
Okay,
of
cool.
what they talked about and everything like that. I
Well, good, good.
I mean, I think he's going to come in a good mood because San Francisco pretty much beat the tar out of who they were playing. I was like, man, that Christian McCaffrey, man, he's just giving the ball and he just scores a touchdown. He's phenomenal.
Oh god. Well, when you're playing another team that sucks, I mean, it's like,
Well, I mean, I forget who
was it
they
like
were
a
playing.
scrimmage game or something?
Well, they played so good that, like, the fundamentals. They had like their best receiver. I think they were talking about their best receiver didn't even get a catch a pass.
Wow.
So they had they have so many other weapons that. But San Francisco looks real good. And me being a person from the southern part of Ohio, when we were growing up, the 49ers pretty much beat the Bengals like every time they went to the Super Bowl. So it was like, whatever. We don't like the 49ers around here, but this is a good team.
You
So
don't like the 49ers? Why? Well, I mean, give me one good reason why you don't like them.
well, because when I was in the military, I was in a chow hall with, I don't know, maybe 100 other dudes. and we were watching the Super Bowl in 1989, and I'm like, yeah, Cincinnati's my team. You know, I live close to Cincinnati and all that
okay.
thing, and they made me look like dog crap. They were like, and I mean, months later, people be like, "Hey, Cincinnati," and I'd be like, "Shut up, man, shut up." But
So they let you down, so you just turn your back on them. So
yeah, I
it's
did
like that.
100%. Other than the, yeah, I didn't. I won't even hesitate on that one.
That's pretty funny.
But other than the fact that there's a football player that played for the Bengals at the time. His name was Stanford Jennings, and I bet the guys, I was like, I bet you during this game, Stanford Jennings is going to run back a kickoff or a punt return for a touchdown. And it was like $20. It was a pot that was like $20. And sure enough, he did it, man. He did it.
Huh?
Yeah, so I got $20 out of it. And then about 10 years later, I met him. I ran into him somewhere. And I said, oh, no way. You're Stanford Jennings. He's like, yeah. I was like, listen, bud. I said, I'm going to tell you a story, and I feel like I owe you. So I gave him $10.
You gave him $10?
Yeah, I was like, we'll split 50-50, man. I mean, I think that's fair, right? Is that fair?
Yeah.
He did all the work. I did all the talking. So is that how that works?
Pretty much, yeah. You know,
Yeah.
it's funny that I watch people that love sports and football, specifically football, especially here. Texas, I mean, you got it out there. You got a bunch of tailgaters, but here, man, it's like, good God, it's like a lifestyle. You know, they go out and rent or buy huge trailers, have cook-offs, you know, and parking lots just to put a game that no one watches on the TV. You know what I mean? They got TVs over, but it's cool. I mean, to watch everybody get together and stuff. But here in Texas, for the Texans, it's a waste of money because they've never delivered on anything. You know,
Well,
all the money.
Dallas has been looking pretty good. You're talking about the Texans, though.
Yeah, I'm talking about, yeah.
Dallas was looking pretty good today, man.
Yeah, they do that. You know, they'll show up and then they kind of just don't the next game or so. I mean, don't get me wrong; they used to be pretty good. You know,
Obviously, Jacko, you don't understand, but that Fiesta Bowl was the greatest triumph that Ohio State has ever had, and it was a fair contest. I don't want to hear anything from you. I don't know, but so listen to this, right? I gotta find Jason. I actually talked to Jason earlier today, but I gotta talk with him about it. He oh, wait a minute, let me check something here. Oh, I have to read that in a bit. So I got to give Jason. I want to do 2 segments on Sunday night. All right. I want to do a segment where what did Chris find on the internet this week? Because on the different social medias I go to, I've been saving some of these posts, and I'm like, some of these things are pretty cool. And I'm going to bring them up and everything like that. We can talk about them. One, you might not even, if you like old music, like rhythm and blues type music,
like R&B.
Yeah,
I like R&B. Yeah, absolutely.
Like old.
Well, but you're talking about old school,
Motown. Like, you know, that kind of.
You're talking about like when you say Motown, you're talking about
like Otis Redding.
Oh yeah,
Quincy Jones.
Yeah. Well, Otis Redding. Sitting on the dock of the bay. That's what I'm talking about.
There is this guy. I'm gonna bring it up, but I want to do 2 segments. I want to do one on what did Chris find on the internet this week, and then the next one I want to do is I want to know what the heck did Kryptonian just say.
You're not ready for the truth, bro.
That's what I'm saying, and I was like, you know what? I got to be careful. Do we want to go?
So much stuff I want to say that I can't. I'll get canceled. Yeah. I mean, I come after you. Yeah.
I'm not that good. I'm not that good at internet stuff, so I want to find this because we do have.
What's up? Wait, did you just say not that good? You hear what's up? You hear this guy, Fowler? He says not that good at the internet stuff. 2 weeks, he's got 1,000 subs.
Right.
You know, really
killing the YouTube.
You know what?
Game.
Because they're so. You guys know what you're doing.
Just say it. What?
I
there ain't nothing you can say.
You know,
2 weeks, 1,000 subs.
See, this is why we do this segment of what did Kryptonian just say?
I'll just message you, brother. Nah, but I get what you're saying.
Okay, hold on a second. So I got to figure out this. So we got to do this, and we got to see. I don't know how. You guys are going to have to help me on this Instagram, right? Because how do you start over a video?
Instagram, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know how to do it.
You talk about play. I think you have to let it run through. I don't think there might be like a restart. I don't know. You got to refresh the page. You're doing it off the browser, right?
Yeah, it's a mess. It's tough to figure this out. All right, so I don't want to share the whole thing right now. Okay, all right. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to do this one time. All right. Okay. This guy here. This guy he's a really really good singer. Now, I've seen this and I've went through a lot of his other posts and stuff like that. Evidently, he was on like American Idol, something like I don't know, one of those shows, and he was on Night at the Apollo with Steve Harvey, and he sings really well, and people don't even believe that it's his voice. So, but I went through a bunch of his stuff, and then he actually does it without the music and just sings it. So, I want to bring this guy up.
These arms of mine, they are lonely.
Do you hear this guy, man?
Lonely and feeling blue.
All right.
Holy crap.
These arms of mine.
All right. So that guy, I mean, his name is Lamont Landers, and he's like his own band or whatever. But you go through his stuff, and if you like close your eyes, you seriously think like he is sitting in, like you're listening to the old school music.
He got some soul in that. There's some soul in that.
And these are songs that I grew up with and that I like. And then I'm like, this guy is fake. And then
that's what I said. I just wanted to say. I'm like, it sounds like. Are we sure that's him singing?
Yeah. Check this out. Okay, so I'll do a little bit more research while we're here. But so he goes. I mean, so Bobby Bones. He was on Bobby Bones and everything like that. But where is the one that he was at? I think this is it. You ready?
I'll show you love for the Lamont Landers band.
This is Night at the Apollo. Oh, Showtime.
Looking back on you now, I was a little Alabama boy. In my only birthday was for Christmas, what would be my toy?
Yeah, I got the same face.
Oh, even though sometimes when I get paid, we were happy feeling joy deep bring. I was so pleased. Good. Come back once more. Why you don't see? Never have to go. I was so deep.
I love Steve Harvey.
I get up. I get up. I get up.
I don't know. I just thought the guy's awesome, man. I think
that sounds
he's
awesome.
Like,
He's got it, man. He's got it, dude. He's got it. This is raw talent.
This is though. I like this.
Are they doing a collab?
He does a looping thing too.
Well, I tried to tell the soul, yes I did, but I guess you didn't know.
Oh yeah, the Mac. Love that song, man.
Oh, I know. Isn't yeah? He does Rubber Band Man too. That I was like, there's another one that's on here that is way too long, but is actually incredible. But he does looping type thing, and I'm trying to look for the one that someone says I need to have proof that that's really you singing, and he has it up there, and he actually is singing without any music in the background. It's actually pretty good.
So
but,
he didn't have any effects or anything like on his mic, reverb and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think let me check.
Auto tune.
I want you.
Nope, that's not.
He's doing some chorus effect. He's doing some stacking right there. So that get something raw.
Oh, but I do like this. This is though.
These arms of mine. They are lonely. Lonely and feeling blue.
Dude, give
See,
me a break.
I'm not a music producer, but it sounds. Is it not like auto-tune to death, or what am I?
There sounds like there's a little bit in
That's
there.
not like, yeah, he's got some effects to it, right? So he's got some reverb and he's probably doing some tweaking, but I mean, but they're all like that. No one's got perfect pitch, you know. I mean, that goes straight to your, like, doing in a live is what I'm talking about, like a live
Right.
song. When it gets produced, I mean, it's all kinds of tuning, but it's really about his timing. So I mean, you can have pitch, but it's about, I mean, he's got the timing. It sounds good. He sounds really good.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. And I thought there was more that I had seen, but I was actually pretty shocked by some of the things that
he looks and kind of reminds me like of an Ed Sheeran, you know, redhead, you know, ginger nut,
Yeah.
whatever you want to call him. So Ed, you know, everybody knows who Ed Sheeran is. If you don't, he's more of a pop, kind of a like a soft rock, if you will, but pop, I would say. Obviously, he writes a lot of music for a lot of artists. He obviously has a lot of hits, but he writes more music than probably hits that he has, and you wouldn't even know it. I mean, his name is on so many things. But I remember everybody think he just sounds amazing. He's like, you should have heard him. He goes, when I first started singing, he would he actually played back some of his recordings when he was first getting started. He sounded like crap. I mean, he's like practice. So that just tells you, someone as a megastar as he is, even he started off raw.
Yeah, I can't find the one where he actually does it all by himself. Let me just, no, I forget which one it was, but he was actually, they were like, I can't believe that that's you. You have to prove it to us. I don't know. I'll try to find it, but that was that's like my thing is that I found that this week and was like, oh my Lord.
Biz says he looks like Buddy Holly. Yeah, it's Buddy Holly and Reincarnate, man.
Yeah.
Buddy Holly did it like what, in his 20s or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess he looks like Buddy Holly. Yeah, for sure.
Wouldn't it have been awesome to see him later on in life? I mean,
Yeah.
I really hate
yeah.
that.
Yeah, we lost some great artists in that plane ride, man.
The same one. I can't find it. Yeah. Anyway, and so I want you to listen to this one, because this lady, I'm gonna remove this first so I can go find this. This lady is absolutely awesome, but you're gonna have to listen to her because of the fact, now she's Irish and she explains words that they use in Ireland that you wouldn't be able to understand, and she is absolutely a sweetheart, man. And I'm a big fan of hers and everything like that. So check her out. You got to listen carefully because she does have an accent, and you don't even know what she's saying half the time. But she's laughing half the time too. So just one that you'll see of her.
Here's 5 quick Northern Ireland slang words you probably haven't heard of. Part I don't even know. Probably part a million. Up first, we have culture. The word culture is used to describe somebody that come up in the agri, so farming, country kind of people. So you would call them a culture. The way people would call me a townie. A culture is a farming country person. Next up, we have jip. If I told you that something was giving me a bit of jip, or my knee was giving me a bit of jip, that would mean that it's either sore or it's giving me a bit of trouble. So if you would say, like, my elbow's sore, it's giving me jip. It means it's sore, it's giving me a bit of trouble. Same if the car wasn't working and you said your car was giving you jip, that means it's giving you a bit of trouble and a bit of bother. Number 3, we have the word owl. Not to be confused with the bird, but it actually means somebody that's old. So if I told you that I'm probably too old to be on TikTok acting an idiot, I'd be right. But it means that I'm too old. 4th for this week is knock. If I knock something from you, that means I've stolen something from you. So instead of saying that they stole my purse, you would say that they knock it. Last for this week is fag. A fag is a cigarette. Thankfully, I don't smoke them anymore. After many years of loving Lambert and Butler, I could still eat a box, but I don't smoke anymore. I'm off them like 7 years. But a fag means a cigarette. Here's 5 quick Northern Ireland slang words.
A fag.
Yeah. She's just so fun. And half the time I'm like, wait, what did
That's
she
hilarious.
just say?
So I just want to say I learned 2 words tonight that I'm going to be using quite often. One is Chris is and you give me a lot of jip, bro. Your lip gives me a lot of jip.
I knew it. As soon as I said I shouldn't bring this up because what Kryptonian's gonna say. But I'm like, you know what? I can't deprive my audience of this wonderful person but seriously, if she starts talking, right? She went on a tour of a castle, okay, that's close to her. And she's talking, and I seriously have to stop it and like rewind it because I have no idea what she's saying. That's like she's like, I know I speak a different language, but it's like it's English, but it's my English, But it is quite fun to watch her stuff. So
yeah, she's got a very, very deep accent, There's a guy that I know some guys, one guy from Ireland. Scotland, kind of the guys that I hang out with. There's 3 of them from Scotland, and it's funny because when I first met them, I could not understand them. They kind of sounded, similar. They had a real deep accent. They've been in the United States for at least 10 years, and but now it's like they have the same accent, but I can just understand them now, But I need to ask them about these words. Well, they're from Scotland. It's going to be different.
Call Me Chris on TikTok is hilarious. I'm gonna check that out. Well, I don't really do TikTok much, but I'll try to get on there and figure it out. But that'd be cool. Fowler, what you got going on tonight, buddy? I know that we got something down here about ready to share.
Yeah, we got one raffle today. We're gonna see if raffling is still viable. The website, the marketplace tab is getting an overhaul. It's right now as we speak. Dev is working on it. It's gonna get a lot more functionality. We're gonna, it's not gonna be really a makeover. It's just really the functionality part, like seeing when the auction ends or when it's up. NFT history, like when it was minted, was there a transfer, who it went to, who bought it, who sold it, price, and all that stuff. That stuff is coming. Then eventually we're going to get the sorting of the marketplace. It's little things, but it's not going to leave too much room for raffling because it's getting to the point where where's our viewers, who's participating in the raffles, right? Maybe they'll, if there's not enough participation, what's really the point of the raffling? And maybe it's just for right now. There's a point, there's a little bit low right now. People want to know low. I don't understand how, because guys at gaming just had their first revenue share rewards go out, right? Like first payout was I believe yesterday, and everybody who's a holder who qualifies for RS, they got paid out. They got their USDT. I'm sure there's a couple people that could probably attest to that. And it was a modest RS disbursement, but that's because we just starting, right? We got to grow. We're going to grow. And the whole point is that there's a system in place that when Guys of Gaming F3 Warriors grows, your RS grows as well. And even after that, I announced it went so well, right? The disbursement went so well without a hiccup, with no hiccups, 0 hiccups. I don't think there's one person that said, "Hey, I didn't get my my RS reward." Not one person. So it's a system that works, right? So if Fowler's starting off now, RS is low. What happens when Guys of Gaming takes off? Fowler's been out here shilling. People see this art. They love the art. Maybe they don't even care about the whole gaming revenue monetary aspect of it. Maybe they just want to have the art. They want to collect the art. There's going to be people like that. They just want to collect the art. This art is so amazing, right? So imagine you're a person that's been collecting, these raffles, right? And now you come to find out, like, man, these things are going for like one BNB, right? Like I was winning this at, Fowler's raffles for like, the cost of maybe $30-$40 in raffle tickets. So, I mean, you got to look at it like that. But again, the whole point is that, the systems that I put in place, this ecosystem I'm trying to build is slowly showing you that it is viable. And people are taking heed on Twitter. There's people coming in. There's people actually buying stuff right off the marketplace, not even coming in Discord. I don't know if people know that. Like, people are actually doing that right now. And, and I'm constantly telling, what's going on with Guys of Gaming on Twitter. So people know that there was a revenue sharing reward that went out to his holders in the form of USDT. I don't know too many NFTs that's paying the whole community, their whole community, right? Most of them you hear is you hold on this NFT and maybe you might get, a payout, or maybe you win or get picked or selected. I don't believe in that. I believe that if everybody is participating in the community, then everybody should get a piece of the pie. Now, how hard you go in on the community should determine how hard we should go on you with the revenue share as well. And that system that I've been, I fine-tuned all the way up to the first 30 days is now showing its weight. Okay, because right now there are some people who are, higher than and lower than others. Everybody can't be, climbing through the ranks of RS, and that's understandable. But even if you're a person that doesn't have the means to be able to climb up the up to the top, this system is still based upon performance. So if anything, if you're part of the community, one thing you should be doing is spreading the word about Guys of Gaming. Like, hey, go to this NFT, man. Like, I was in it for 30 days. They did a payout. Matter of fact, you could be a person who just came in the last couple of days before the snapshot. They paid out, right? I only qualify for the first level, but it pays out. So, if we're doing this now and there's a system in place, just again, imagine when we get going. You don't want to get left behind being like, I'm trying to collect NFTs. The best time to collect is early on, not later on, because there's not going to be a lot of them to be around. And on top of that, the people who are going to be selling them, they're not going to sell them for the prices that when we started out. When we started out, I wasn't trying to rake nobody over coals, right? I made sure they were affordable. I'm talking like, what was it? I think we were talking anywhere from like $8 to $10 at one point, right? Again, and I was talking about the limited edition stuff going for 1 BNB now. We're talking now with the the Warriors, FD Warriors, even your common ones, we're selling at I want to say I saw a couple of them like $25. So they're going up. The floor is rising.
Hold on, Fowler.
Yeah.
We got a special guest that's arrived, and I think our special guest has a special guest. Let's see it. Pull it up here.
Oh, it's Nick.
Hello.
There you go,
you?
Nick.
Oh.
Look at that.
Me,
Both of your
Juno
dogs.
and Ziggy.
Who?
They're camera shy.
What is it? What are their names again?
This one here is Ziggy, and this one here is Juno. And they are Australian Labradoodles. They are sisters, and they are just turned 3 years old.
Oh, isn't that awesome?
Say hi.
Wow, nice dogs.
Hi.
Labradoodles, huh?
Yeah.
I've
So
seen
they,
that.
They don't like to be on camera.
I bought my mom I got her a standard poodle about a year ago, and that thing is dang near standard of the longer the poodle. That thing's like stands up like 5 foot, when it's up on its like it's high, it's huge. One of the smartest dogs there. She loves poodles, so she had some miniature poodles when I was a kid, so I got the opportunity to get her a standard. She loves it. Poodles are smart.
All right, Fowler. Go through the rest of what we got to say about here, and then we'll have Nick jump on and give us the lowdown on his backer meeting.
So really quick, I'm not going to take too much time. Look, when it comes to even the raffles, guys, or just anything that any NFT that you are grabbing from guys in Game F3 Warriors right now, you have to understand that it's not like trading tokens, right? Trading tokens depend upon how much market you put out there. Can you get people excited to come in and all that great stuff? But NFTs is totally different because people can be coming in for multiple things, especially in this project, because it's not just based upon revenue sharing. It's not just based upon, a game. It's not just based upon art. It's all collective of things. So when you have people coming in from Twitter and all these other places, and they're just trying to find one of these NFTs, if you're one of these people who've been with the project since the beginning, you've been collecting this stuff up, you put this stuff out. Honestly, some of the floor on some of this stuff is not even there. You can make whatever price, and there's a potential that somebody might come in and like that art so much that they may just pay that price that you just put up there. And I'm being dead serious, right? So this is just all the icing on the cake. But the biggest thing last thing I'm gonna say is that I announced yesterday was that I'm upgrading even the revenue share even more. I'm putting more incentive on it. So pretty much going from this day forward, because this is the beginning of the new month, every $100 that the revenue sharing pool hits, I am matching that $100. So if it gets up to $100, it's going to end up being $200. Okay, it's real that simple, guys. I am literally trying to make the growth of a lot of people's revenue sharing like go crazy, right? And it's not a marketing thing because this is going to be permanent. It's not like something I'm just saying for the heck of it. This is literally going to be in place. It's something, again, I've made the revenue sharing system where it can be sustainable for up to a certain point, and got more to grow. But this is just like one of the things I was able to do, and I was going to try to do after a successful first month. And that first month has crossed, and now we're here to go forward with the next going months. And this is what the incentive is going to be. It's going to be more incentives on top of that. But again, it's really about who's participating, and it's about collecting NFTs, and it's also about participating in the marketplace itself. We have our own marketplace. So, and this is on the BSC. This is the perfect time to start. If you're a person who wants to get in early, grab you some NFTs, set the market, or collect, hold it for revenue share. You have all types of opportunities. We're going to have staking. We're going to have idle game. We're going to have other opportunities. It's just how are you going to attack those opportunities? Are you going to let them sit there and watch them go by, or are you going to actually participate, do what you can, and try to find a way for you to profit? And that's about it. Your show, guys.
All right, that's a lot to take in there, Fowler. All right, do you have the address for the raffle in the?
Oh yeah, let me. I think it's in there, but I'll drop it again. I didn't really put a time we were going to draw. This is the only one we're going to have tonight, so we can go as long as we possibly can with the raffle.
All right, well we'll get to next portion of it, and then maybe after he's done, we'll revisit, and then maybe give him a few more minutes with it up. And you have it in the back? No, that's a different one. That's a different one in your background. I thought it was. It's one of the ones.
Yeah, it's one of.
Yeah. So let's see. So Robert says, one of my new leader heroes of the future. My dad always said to listen and you'll find ways to prosper. That also includes listening to you guys also. That's cool. So I think JMass says, I heard they're from Austria, selective hearing. I don't think they're from Austria, JMass. Okay, so Robert, what does this mean? You're a hell of a yoke person, Chris. What does yoke mean? Does that? I don't know.
Like egg yolk?
Egg yolk?
You got yolk on your face? I've heard that term. You got yolk on your face?
Teddy One says, is that NFT your daughter, Fowler?
I wouldn't say it's my daughter. When I create a lot of this stuff, there is a lot of influence from my daughter, because when I'm usually working on this. So it's other than this, it's my daughter. and she's usually like here, like literally while I'm working. So if you've seen the token booster, the yield booster for the staking upcoming, the pre-sale, there's the art that's on there that's really influenced by literally how I work every day, right? So she's there. She's always trying to, be in my lap and trying to see what I'm doing, trying to type on the keyboard, trying to see what I'm, all on the screen and stuff, and that's pretty much what I put as the art for the first token booster. And, for me, it's like, I'm doing this more or less, not necessarily for the right now, but more for the future. I hope that she follows in my steps in a better way. I'm doing this more or less the hard knocks life way, but her way may be a little bit more, I would say, structured. So I'm basically the crash test dummy, I feel, for her, because she's very interested in everything I do. So if that never changes, maybe one day I'm actually financing her development. So we'll see.
There you go. That's awesome. So Robert comes in. Kryptonian, I want you to make sure you hear this too. He says it's an Irish word for awesome. Awesome.
What's that?
Yoke.
You're saying it wrong.
Wait,
joke.
Joke. Oh, but Robert does say I listen to you too.
Don't be a gyp, Chris. Don't be a gyp. I know you're an owl, but don't be a gyp.
You're gonna get booted, and Nick is gonna be witness to you getting booted off the off the live stream. And so Kelly Productions, I got to go back to your comment. Kelly Productions said that the government didn't shut down. Dems and Republicans came to an agreement.
It's like deja vu all over.
Isn't that always a situation though?
Always a situation.
It's like they're selling. They're out there selling a new movie or book or something. They're like, "Oh my God, this is gonna do it. This is it. This is it. Oh, we figured it out."
Yeah.
Always.
See, we came together. We were able to give ourselves a raise. That's what the big issue.
Didn't we have a conversation about this like 6 months ago? And we were talking about it. Like, do you really think the government's going to shut down? And I think my answer was, I've seen this so many times in my lifetime. I don't think,
Yeah.
They play with it. They play with it as far as they possibly can. I've even seen them gone a couple of weeks through it, but not like, oh, let's, firestorm, brimstone. People aren't getting paid.
Well, they get back paid too. That's the whole thing. That to me, it's like all they do is they establish who's essential and who's not. And honestly, isn't that like, kind of heartbreaking that you work at your job, you've been there forever, you work hard, and you're doing it for the people, and you're working for the government, you got good intentions, and they list you as non-essential.
Dude, the worst ones I feel like is if you're working somewhere near Congress, right? You're working somewhere near Congress, and they can't come to the thing, and here you are, they tell you got to come to work even though you're not getting paid because you're essential. So come to work, no pay, and I would be so ticked off being in any type of federal building. I don't care where I am. Okay, maybe I'm a different type of person. Chris will probably go to work and be like, yeah, salute and all that stuff. But me, on the other hand, I'm going in there, I'm knocking over water coolers and stuff. I'm angry. I'm sorry.
Fowler's like, it's on. This place is about ready to pop off.
Oh man. Come on.
And Jocko, let me tell you something, buddy. Oh, Sunny T, great to have you here. She says, so true, Chris. See, I do have some supporters out there. Jocko's like, it's 8:45, 15 minutes until the top of the hour for the potty break. Thanks, Jocko, for reminding me about my bathroom breaks, and you too, Kryptonian. Appreciate it.
I have said nothing.
Yet.
Well, I've already known you've gone 3 times. That's just it.
I have not gone 3 times.
Before we got started. We had a 3-minute countdown, bro.
Yeah, I did. I did go to the bathroom before we started. You're right. So, but that's not 3. You just said 3 times.
Since we last talked today.
Oh,
since our meeting today with Nick earlier.
Oh, now that's a little.
You've gone at least 3 times. Look, hey, it's okay. Accept it. It's what happens when you get owl, whatever you say in Ireland.
Old.
Owl.
Is it? It's old, right?
Yeah, it's
all
okay.
Right. Yeah, she's. I think she's pretty amazing, and her little videos are so much fun. So Nick, you ready to for your part? Are you going to present something, or are you just going to talk? Or
Yeah, I'm gonna like kill the vibe completely, the casual vibe, and present something.
oh, don't worry, we'll pick it up because our next segment after you're done and after Fowler does his raffle is what the heck did Kryptonian just say? So we'll get right back into it.
Yeah. So I'll tell you, starting with early morning today, my time, Pacific time, and to now, it's been a whirlwind of a day, but in a really, really good way. Been meeting with members of the community and got some forward momentum on numbers in a very positive way. So I'd like to talk about that, if I may. Uh, I have some slides to present because that's just how I roll. Let me
I think
go
that a lot
here.
of people like that too. They like the slides and the presentation.
Yeah. So just hold sharing it for 1 second. I want to talk about what we're doing here. So earlier in the day, we started off the day with a little bit of chaos, I believe, because of the fact that I had essentially overlooked in redoing the cap table for Friday. I had overlooked the ratio, essentially the ratio of tokens to perks, and the OG ratio that I presented on Friday went substantially down. There was nothing other than oversight there. And today, after people pointed that out, I revised that, and we are good. I think I posted the exact numbers on Discord. Let me just go look at them so I don't mess up what I'm going to say here. But in terms of the percentages, yeah, I had on Friday put the ratio of OG tokens to perk tokens at 19.6%, when originally it was 37.5%. So once I learned about that, I fixed it and I published a new spreadsheet, and the numbers were back to 37.5%. Now, previously, we had already scheduled a meeting with the backers community because that still kind of remained unresolved at that time. And so we had a really, really good meeting. Chris was on that meeting also today, and it was a great meeting, very positive, etc. And this is just like the validators meeting we had. We had a good meeting there. We reached some consensus and moved forward. And now today we did that with the backers also. So the long story short, what we're doing is essentially rolling the backers into the OGs. The tokens for the backers would have been locked. Now they are no longer locked. They're still subject to vesting, but they're no longer locked. So this also means the perks get increased. So I want to show you that. So please bring up the screen. All right. So this is a revision number 3 today. And what I've started to do is put the time up there on the top left so you can see, when it was. And I've started to version it also. So basically the change here from version 2, let me go to version 2 to show you what it was like. So version 2 had this row with backers here and this row with backers here. And this number was 24. This number was 14.5. Now let's go look here. Those numbers have not changed at all. But what we have is the backers row is no longer there. So what's happened is that this number here has changed. It was previously 21.699. Now it's 21.847. So that's essentially what happened there. And this number, the OG perks number, went up. It went up from 9.6 to 9.85. So in effect, the ratio for OGs has actually gone up a little bit now. It's let me do the math here. So it should be that divided by that. I believe it's 0.45. So you can see here, it's actually gone up. So anyway, this is basically the resolution. And the additional thing is that on the DAO council, which is a 9-seat council, it's going to be 5 council leads, one validator seat, one YouTuber seat, and now one backer representative seat also, and then one community at large seat. So that's your 9 DAO council. So that's basically what's going to happen. In addition, the backers are going to get a POET token, so a proof of engagement token that showed that they were early supporters. So I believe this is a pretty good resolution. I'll pause here and take any feedback from anybody before I go on, because there's some other thing also, another piece of news I want to share also. But overall, this simplifies things for everybody, including the backers. They are now sort of essentially part of the OGs, and I think it's a good seamless sort of transition. All right, so it doesn't look like there's any questions there. So let me go on. All right, so the next thing we talked about is revenue share. So we have negotiated previously and agreed with the validators on a revenue sharing model that I'm presenting right here. So the one we discussed was a 1% fee on asset sales revenue. And the model is 50% goes to the DAO and 50% goes to the validators. Very simple and straightforward. I put an example here because I think it's important for you to see the dollar numbers. So let's say there's $1,000 in revenue, just for an example. So now that revenue is $10. The sales fee, like 1% of 1,000 is $10. So how does that get split? That's $5 to the DAO and $5 to the validators. So that's what we had. Now today, after doing a bit of research, talking to some artists, talking to the artist Tufer, a creator council lead, etc., what we've done is modified this to make the booster program significantly more attractive. Why? By adding revenue sharing component to the booster program also. And how does it look? It looks like this. We're going to move the 1% fee. We're going to increase it to 2% on the asset sales revenue. And we're going to do a 3-way split. 35% to DAO, 35% to validators, and 30% to boosters. Now, the math here is important. Let's take that same $1,000 and see what you get. So now the sales fee is going to be $20 as opposed to $10. And the individual shares, DAO goes from $5 to $7, validators go from $5 to $7, and boosters get $6 split pro rata among all of them. So I think this is a good outcome for everybody. So anyone who buys a booster also is now opting in for perpetual revenue share for the life of the protocol, which I think makes the booster that much more attractive, because more than likely you will recoup your booster cost very, very quickly, like within the first year. So yeah, that's the change that I am proposing, which I've already discussed with the validators lead and agreed to it. So yeah, this is looking forward to community feedback about this.
All right.
So yeah,
that's pretty exciting. I don't know, when you say things like that, I'm like, oh yeah, I like that. But I think that's a big one though. To me, I think that is a big one. So there's an incentive for any of the boosters, even more now.
Yep. So your booster, you get your tokens, etc. They will rebase. The plan is to do really well, so the price goes up. But you have two fronts, right? You've got, well, 3 fronts. You've got the rebasing, you've got the value of the token, which would vary based on the market. But here, this sales, that should be pretty constant growth as we grow the ecosystem out. This is all depending on our marketing. We continue to market. So if anyone wonders, like, why does a DAO need money? Well, someone's got to do the marketing. Someone's got to onboard all those creators and do all that. So that's what the capital is for. But that capital also increases everyone's rev share. And so the funds we are talking about there is straight up, additional capital. Yeah.
Kryptonian, you got anything to say? You're looking, and are you thinking?
I'm still thinking. I'm still looking at it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So this is what you guys went over to today after your backers meeting. This is what we've come up with, right?
Yeah. So basically, when we left the backers meeting, it was with like, let's add a boosters rev share component to it. And so I took that as a challenge, and I worked through these numbers, looked at what the market will bear, and there is some room. And then talked to Baron, and we went through that, and we negotiated these numbers. So these are post-negotiation numbers.
Understood.
So they've been revised.
Okay. But it's definitely, from the current to proposed, it's definitely drastically different, right? So it looks like it went from no hope to, okay, we've got something here that maybe I'm not going to be naive to think everybody's going to be happy with this. Areas is the best thing ever. So, but I think if it's anywhere along in the middle, I think is what's best, right? So we got to consider, we can't give away the farm essentially, before, we still have to, now this is all proposed, and this is all on the potential of we launching the chain, and it does well. If it's not doing well, none of this matters. It's just numbers on paper, right? So at the end of the day, so I like it. I like the proposal. Is there going to be, now you said this is proposed, is there going to be a final vote on this, or is this going to be?
Well, no, when I say, all of these things are essentially subject to that vote we are doing on next week, right? So this is part of that. So
Okay.
That's why I say proposed on everything, because everything is subject to that one vote. And my goal is, look, let's not beat around the bush. If there's not a yes vote, then we are out of runway. I don't know what's going to happen then. Then it's like going to be really, really, really difficult. So I want to make sure that it's just like, in the US Senate and all of that, all the negotiations are done. So when the vote is done, it's just a formality. That's what I'm looking for here.
Yeah.
I've talked to all the constituents, etc. I need to address everything. So our vote is just a formality. I want to make sure that everyone is on board, and this is the time. If you have an issue with something, this is the time to bring it up.
Fair enough. Yep.
Biz asks, why is the validator highlighted green? Well, just draw attention to it.
It's just creative coloring. What are you talking about? All right, we do have a few questions. And Garfield, I just want to say it is the other way around. Yul Brynner. So let it be written, so let it be done. But I get what you're saying.
No, that's what Congress does. They do it and they write about it later. Yeah. So no, he's got that right, but it's actually should be let it be written, so that should be done. But
all right, let me go find the that we had some legitimate questions. I starred them and then I stopped starring them because I was goofing off. I apologize. It is Sunday night. C Titch says, so backers still need to buy a booster to get 0.5 share.
So as of right now, there is no backers. You're an OG, and everyone is the same. If you want to participate in the rev share, then you have to buy a booster.
Let's see. J Mass, he says, shocked to see my 7.9K UXI tokens go to 228K Vitro. What is expected price of Vitro? I have no idea. Do we have any? Have you have any data on the price or anything like that?
I don't have any yet, but all that was done there was a multiplier to bring the token count up to more like a $10 million range, which is what you would generally expect. You don't want to have ERC20 tokens or VRC20 tokens, I guess in this case, be like, 100,000 or 200,000 or whatever. That's not sort of very crypto way to go about it. So I just multiplied it. That's it. It's kind of think of it like a stock split.
So I think Teddy won. I think this is answered, but I did star it. So the number of backers doesn't mean anything now. The revenue share is in the boosters itself, not in the backers with boosters.
Yeah, so the backers are folded into the OG, so there is no count anymore of that. And rev share is the boosters. Exactly. So if there are 5,000 boosters, then that's the rev share is divided among them. There's 10,000 is divided among them. So yeah, but as the capital availability increases, it also affords us the ability to increase our runway, do better with marketing, and accelerate the scaling of this much faster. So we put that capital to use efficiently, and we can scale this up, and we can scale the revenue up faster.
JMass comes in and says, I get it. Everything is relying on booster sales. Gives you a little handshake. All right. So he's happy. Sonny T, I'm on board. I really like that we are making adjustments that are benefiting all people. And as for validators, it's like we are getting 70% of 1% old plan.
I believe it's 60% if my math is right. So it's 0.5 of 1% and compared to 0.35 of 2%. So I believe it's 60%. Let me just do the math here. 0.35 multiplied by 2. Yeah, no, you're right. 0.7. I was wrong. Sorry, you're correct on that. Yes.
I mean, Sonny T's pretty damn smart now. So
yes.
That's all I'm going to say.
Sonny.
No. Usually if she tells me something, I'm like,
bam. Yes,
ma'am.
I am wrong. I am so sorry.
Kryptonian, you see that starred comment over there? You want to bring that up, or do you want to? You want to talk?
It says, "Come on, Kryptonian, spit it out already." I can't. I don't waste whiskey. You got an issue? Obviously, say what's on your mind, not behind the scenes. No, I don't have any issues with this. I asked my questions, and he addressed them. So, and I think the only question, if I did have, was this going to come to a vote? And this is proposed, and I mean, none of this matters unless we've got liquidity, right? Unless so, it's just numbers.
And that's what this is all about. This is to make it very, very attractive for folks to step up. Again, it's completely voluntary and completely optional. If you do nothing, you still have your tokens, you still have your rebasing, all of that kind of stuff. But we want to move this forward, and I can do it much more efficiently if we have the capital to do it. So
so I have no issues with this. I understand why we're doing this, and so I agree with it. But thanks for watching my face, Bowling. I appreciate that. Thanks for paying attention.
You're just concerned about what the next segment that we're gonna have.
No, I'm not at all. I mean, usually anything that comes out of your mouth doesn't matter.
Be careful. So Kelly Production brings up a very interesting statement here. He says, wait a minute, is this the real JMass, as in real one, all 50 of them? JMass has some alts now. I just sometimes I'm like, is this really you, buddy? So C Titch. Nick, can the ratio be 40-40-20 because the $7 in your example will have to be divided by 500 validators, right? 40-40-20. Okay.
No, it will have to be only the validators who buy boosters.
Okay.
The rev share is not available to everybody. You have to buy a booster.
So all you but what they're saying is that not 500 validators will purchase a booster.
Yeah, I mean, if they do, that's great. But I don't know that today.
Yeah, that's kind of a hard. That's a hard guesstimate right there. I mean, there might be a lot that do it, but to get to 500, I would be surprised. Oh, Mr. Biz, how close are to calculating the BTC wallets?
Yeah, so it looks like that's got to be sort of a pseudo manual process. I haven't had an update on that since Thursday. I will get an update and post something by tomorrow. I will get an update tonight and post something by tomorrow on that.
So essentially, backers are dissolved and they are only OGs now. Do I understand that right?
Well, I would rephrase that. Backers are now amazing OGs. So,
Amazing.
yes,
We're all amazing OGs.
exactly.
Air says, Nick, OG can get up to 25 boosters, right?
Yep, the same. You can get more than 25 boosters. The 25 boosters is the limit for acceleration of your vesting, but you can buy as many boosters as you want.
Right. So yeah.
And just to remind people, we are going to have the NFT hub where those boosters can be traded because they have a lifespan of 18 months, right? They accelerate vesting over that period. So you can buy boosters now at this price and sell them at whatever price you want on the hub later.
Nice. All right. So Teddy One says, question just to make sure your coins are connected to your OG NFT and not the wallet. I can move the OG NFT to a new wallet and my coins will follow.
That's correct, except for any coins that you have already claimed into your wallet.
Okay. All right. Sanity says, Ella, no worries. All I did was $5 out of the 1,000 versus 7 out of the 1,000. Okay. Oh, here's it. Here's C-Titch with another one. So backers were bought in September and did not rebase until November at 3.5. Is it possible to increase the number of tokens for each backer to compensate for this since we do not have incentives?
Well, I'll start with the last part first. You do have incentives. So therefore, the first part does not apply.
Okay. Nick Garfield here. Nick, you have taken a lead, so make the decision accordingly. Respectfully, let's not take too much time on voting. Making corrections along the way is good enough. Voting should be once we launch.
Fair enough. But I'm trying to build the culture here of a decentralized, community-based approach to things versus a sort of dictator-based approach. Don't want to do that. And so I would rather make sure that the community is involved and part of the process, and has the opportunity to change things along the way. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to.
Here is Daniel with his coffee. Anyone?
Yep. He actually, I got a notification that he had sent me that dark roast, the Vietnamese dark roast. It's still in my P.O. box. I got to go pick it up tomorrow, and then I got to grind it, and I'm going to bring and drink it. So I'll let you know how it goes. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I would like to know that too, because with me, the military destroyed my coffee taste, so I would like a good coffee. So, but I don't know if I can take your word for it.
You need to stop dripping around, man. Just stop dripping around.
I'm never showing you another video.
Yeah. Oh, just keeping. I actually wrote that word down. I'm gonna put a. Yeah, I'm gonna be the jip of all trades. But go ahead. There was one I wanted to. I saw Bowling. He kind of responded to my response. Quickly. It was right after Daniel's. But you just look over concerned and not happy about something, which is curious. I appreciate it. No, and no, you're right. I am concerned. Definitely happy. I'm always blessed, and I'm always doing better than I deserve. But as far as overly concerned, I would say, of course I am. I mean, as Nick has said, we're running out of time here. So we've got to make some decisions to make this thing happen. And if we don't take action on something, then nothing's going to happen. Not to say that we've got a metaphorical gun to our head, and you need to act or else. But I mean, we've got some great plans laid out before us, and I'm hoping for the best. It's a far cry from what we've had, paper on purpose. So my concern is that nothing happens. So I guess to be quite honest, and I want something to happen. I want this thing to do well for all of us. I want the community to be made whole. In fact, I want this project to do so well that people look differently at DeFi, because the last 2 years have just been horrible. A bunch of scams, all this crap coming out. So I want to bring something that changes the narrative, that brings hope back into why I even got into crypto. So, but thanks, Bolin. I appreciate that, man.
Oh, Daniel's got a nice. This is so. One of the guys in my office that just retired was in the military for a long time. He loves the coffee completely black and says it's very smooth. Is that the dark roast that you got?
Oh,
is
yeah.
that the same one?
Yeah.
I might have
love
to go
dark
check
roast,
that
man.
out.
That's how, when I went to Japan, that's the only way I drank it. That's the first time I ever had coffee with it when I was up there. And I've been searching for that perfect taste ever since. It's just how it is first time. This coffee's supposed to taste like this, and then you get to America and you taste like Starbucks. Tastes like burnt.
Listen, I don't want to knock Starbucks because I know people like it, but I think it's terrible. Every time I taste it, I'm like, this is not.
I had some Dunkins this morning when we were on that meeting today. Or, for me, it was like 10 in the morning or so. I had me some Dunkin' Donuts coffee. That's better, much better.
Dunkin' Donuts.
I did too.
I like Dunkin' Donuts. Better than Starbucks, but
yeah,
that's usually my daughters are usually they fight back and forth about what's the best coffee. But Nick, are you ready for a couple more questions?
Yeah, but then I have to wrap up because I left a family event to come here for this, and I need to head back to it.
Okay,
So,
I got.
let's
when are you going to learn, Nick? You don't do that.
Yeah, really, Nick. We take you for everything. We just got 3 more start questions, and and I think one of them is actually, well, no, they're all questions. So here we go. I Fly a Bus says, Nick, sorry to ask off topic, but I have asked multiple times with no answer in the Discord. If my wallet amount is correct, do you still have to do BTC verification? I would suspect no.
Yeah, I think that's correct. I think we only need to do the verification. Well, first of all, I'm perplexed that your wallet amount is correct. That is because the BTC are all one or nothing. So all or nothing, rather. But if it is correct, then yeah, you don't need to do anything. But if your wallet is not present, which I suspect it isn't for the 122 or so, then you would need to do that. And the verification we're talking about is very simple. We'll essentially have you sign a transaction with the wallet address you want. That's what we are thinking right now. And if that works, then we know you're the owner of the wallet, and we're good to go.
Nice. Next question is from Bump. Lightnode's bought in at 350 and lost rebases for 2 months. And OG sacrificed at 78, but we are grouped at 1-to-1 in the pool. That's a question there?
Well, I guess I don't know how to address that, but look at it this way. If you weren't grouped into the OG, the tokens you paid for the light node would be locked forever, and you would not be able to do anything with them. You would not be able to transfer them, sell them, etc. But by virtue of having them now merged into the OG, those tokens are now available to you, and therefore you have both the tokens and the rebases available to you. So I think overall you come out ahead.
I see your comment, Gus. It's not like I go out and buy it, but I enjoy it here and there. Let's see. One last one for you, Nick, so you can get off, because I will get off track and start talking more. October should be bullish time for the space as a whole. Was there any strategy involved when it comes to boosters? Can't predict market sentiment, I know, but just curious. And I have one more question that from Eris. So I guess Kelly Production is saying, is there a strategy involved when it comes up to boosters?
Yeah, I mean, we basically plan on doing a marketing campaign around them, both internally, meaning to our community, and also externally at large, because and we intend to do it in sort of waves, if you will, right? We first do the community, and we get a foundation, and then from that foundation, we can then go on to other mid-sized to investors, institutional, small institutional investors, and get them. That's what those super boosters are really targeting. Like on the low end, the super boosters are like 25K, but on the higher end, they're 250K. So that would be any sort of seed stage institutional investor. So that's who would be targeting. But it's much easier for us to go to those investors when we have a foundation and we say, okay, we've raised so much and there's so much to go. So get in here, and here are your incentives.
The last question, Eric says, so Nick, more boosters you get, the more sales profit you get?
Well, one cannot make that direct correlation, but when you have capital and you use that wisely for marketing, then that's an investment. So companies make marketing investments in order to scale up their sales. That's just standard business, and that's what we would do.
Awesome. All right. Well, Nick, I appreciate your time coming in and hanging out. The community, I'm sure, is pretty excited about it all. Do you guys got anything else for Nick? And remember, he's got to go, so make it quick.
I'm good, Nick. Thanks for stopping by and giving us an update on the backers meeting. That's cool. I feel like we're getting more insight day to day, and that's what we need. So just keep that coming. I think the community will appreciate that.
My thinking is that a well-informed community can make overall good decisions together versus, just guessing at things, making assumptions, etc. I don't think that we should do that, right? We need to make sure everyone's well-informed. So I have instructed my team to do whatever they can in order to make sure that information flows through very quickly. That's why you see even these downloads, etc. Not only do we keep the stream up, but we also sort of break it up into parts, into bite-sized parts, and put it on Twitter, put it on Discord, put it on Medium, things like that, because we want to make sure people are well informed. And I know that no one can consistently sit for 2 hours on a Friday, and do that. So we need to cater to everybody's time, and we'll do that. So we're getting very close.
Essa does a really, really good job in the Discord with taking the videos and chopping them up so that for the different questions and stuff like that. I think that's very good. If that was him, kudos to him. If someone came up with that idea, kudos to them. But he does great work.
But thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. Have a good rest of your Sunday. Unfortunately, the 49ers got creamed. So did the Bengals. I'm sorry about that. But it was a good Sunday otherwise. So.
Bengals.
I didn't even notice, honestly.
Appreciate it, Nick. You have a good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you, Nick.
So we have to address the few comments here that I saw, and I actually think I missed a couple of them. So Nick, Jocko says the Starbucks are a bunch of communists. Okay, yeah, you're making yourself. Yeah, now you're coming back from that whole Miami comment in Ohio State. Well, we might be all right. And then I think he said something about the fact that he said you told him to say about my top of the hour bathroom break.
I told you to say that?
Jocko said, I think he said that I'd have to go look for it, but I think he said, it's not me, man. Kryptonian told me to say that. And I was like, what?
I probably did. Sorry. I probably messaged him because, we talk about you all the time back, like in Discord. like in fact, we make bets. Like, I bet you goes in the first quarter of the show. And he's like, nah, I bet you it's in the first half.
You know what? If that's the case, then you guys need to get me in on that, because again, it is awesome to bet on another man's tricks. So that is great. See, Titch, I noticed in the YouTube, my YouTube channel chat, that you have a message that was retracted. I hope that nobody retracted your message. Is that something that you did, or did we take that message out? I think the chat's been pretty decent. I didn't see anything from anybody.
I would say when you say his name, just make sure you take your time with it. Because when you rush it, it sounds like something else. I'm just going to say that right now. Okay. Just take your time with it.
Titch?
Yeah, that's fine. But if you go back to the beginning of the show, you said something that, you probably got bleeped, is what I'm going to say. So just take your time, Chris. It's all right, man. We're not rushing here,
Whatever. But anyway, Decrypto Oz, when do they look like selling boosters? I would think in the next couple of weeks. Am I right with that, guys? Or are we like?
I thought it was this week.
Gus, listen, where are you at now? Did you make your way over to California? Are you over there now? I wonder where he's at. I thought I saw a comment from him earlier, and did you see this comment?
Gus is like, well, it depends. Why are you asking? It's gonna be the new pun.
All I'm gonna say is eventually you guys will become my age and you will be like, oh wow. We know
Kelly,
what that old man
Kelly knows
going.
what I'm talking about. Look at the comment I just started on Kelly.
But don't. I did not say that.
Oh, yeah, you did.
I did not say
See,
that.
I wasn't the only one, man. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, brother.
But Gus says that Dunkin' Donuts, that's just tainted water, bro.
It's better than burnt water.
You know what though? That's why I drink so much water, is because there's so many things that I'll see where they'll be like, they'll go to Starbucks, go to these places, and they'll get coffee, and it's like massive amounts of sugar.
I don't do any sugar in my coffee. Straight black. That's how I do it, man. Straight.
Listen, Dunkin' Donuts has like the best like coffee breakfast. Like the little sandwiches they have, they're expensive as shit. But I mean, they're pretty
you talking
good.
about the little sandwich? I have not had.
Yeah, little wraps.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
little.
should
Yeah,
have
like
them.
I have not had those yet.
Yeah, when we go to like to Destin, when we go to like because we drive down to Destin most of the time because we're going to be there and we need and we make a habit of we stop off at Dunkin'. There's a certain place. If we stop off there, we get like a full breakfast and all of our stuff, and then hit the road. And we
Anytime
never
we're
go
going
to
anywhere in
Dunkin'.
Texas. We stop at Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's.
Can I get an amen? For those of you know what I'm talking about, let me get an amen and an amen.
Is that a friend of yours? Is it Buc-ee's?
Yeah.
Is a friend of yours?
Oh, it's a friend of everybody in Texas. I'll tell you that right now. Ain't no
I
Texas.
know what Buc-e's is.
Yeah, ain't no
the world
Texas
outside
not
of
know what
Texas, man.
Yeah.
There's a world out-
I thought they were like Walmarts. I thought they were everywhere. But no, it's not. They're Texas. But Buc-ee's, it's like you walk into a Walmart with gas. I mean, it's kind of like a super Walmart, but they got. I mean, coffee's good, but they got some barbecue in there. Jeez. If you want, you can get some good food, road food, man, from there. It's real good stuff. Tina said, "Amen." Thank you, Tina. Tina's what I'm talking about.
Tina, are you in Texas, or are you around that area? Do they have? We got a question here. Can we buy boosters with B&B? That question has come up repeatedly, and I think that did he say that it's going to be on Vitruveo's blockchain? Is that what he said? I thought that's what he said, that he wanted.
I know
to
you was saying that you could buy it with USDT. Like, ooh. I think I remember saying something like BSC and USDT, but I'm pretty sure I heard that. I mean, you have to, because like if you think about it, even if they come out RC1, they're not going to have a lot of stuff to like pair to it and stuff. So like they got to get the money from somewhere. Likelihood is BSC because everybody somewhat utilizes it or can.
BUSD is accepted. It's a sun.
Yeah.
Hold on. What does Rick gonna say? He says Buc-ee's statue is real life save point for road trips. There it is, man. Teddy wants. See, they know what I'm talking about, Chris.
Hey, I'm not going to go to the bathroom. My daughter. I'm gonna go talk to my daughter. Is that all right with you? Is that okay with you?
Right. Is that the new code? I gotta go talk to my daughter. Go ahead, bro, go talk to your daughter. Just make sure you wash your hands. Okay. No, it's all good, man.
He's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I can't.
He's like, I don't want to go to the bathroom. Let me talk for him. I don't want to
bring
go.
Bring me the jug. Bring me the jug. Okay.
I just went
with the funnel. Bring me the jug with the funnel.
What's up, dude? Hey, what's going on? We're just giving him a hard time.
You thought I was lying?
No. When have you ever lied?
You just said that. You said that's going to be the new thing.
He was like, hey, we need
but
you.
Why are you talking about the past? Why you always got to bring up the past, man?
Right in front of my dog. You're like, what? I didn't say, what are you talking about? There's people watching that.
We're just concerned. We're just concerned about your dad. That's all. I mean, he sits there all day.
He's like,
playing
hey,
games.
Look, I gotta go to the bathroom, but I can't go to the bathroom and leave the chair open. So I need you to sit down and act like I had to go with emergency. Tell the whole story. That's why he muted.
You don't want my daughter to sit down here. She'll straighten us all out. No time at all. You'll be like,
I have daughters, and you're right, they will. So.
Yeah, they allow us to do this.
Yeah. I went to the range with my daughter today. It was a good day. Good.
Thanks for bringing that up. This one's gonna be like, when are we going to the range? She's always.
Yeah, what's up with that, Chris?
Yeah, I know.
Wow, I'm disappointed in you.
Do you hear? She said, "I like Fowler's background."
Yes.
Yeah, it's the greatest background. I don't even need to have anything behind me. Like, behind this green screen could be straight tatters of everything.
The amazing thing about it, that's all your stuff. You know what I mean?
All my stuff.
It's not one. It's not one photo. It's like one image.
And it's not even all of it. It's a fraction. Oh, look, bam. He had to go.
It's good though, man. It's good.
He had to go. You see that? He had to go.
All the excitement's got my stuff going. I got to be right back.
My kidneys started to jiggle. Like Spider-Man, my kidneys are tingling.
What sucks is I'm not too far behind. I mean, in a few years I'll be going, I gotta go, guys, be right back.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch you guys. I'm like, man, remember those guys? They're all in the pins now.
I've actually got to pick up my dad's 77, and he fell ill and everything. So he's never needed them until but I did get some just in case. He wasn't didn't have enough energy to get to the bathroom in some cases. So the nurse was like, "Go grab him some just in case." So I went to a Walgreens Walgreens, I don't know, a couple months ago when he started staying here. So I just go grab a bag, not even thinking about it. I go grab a couple bags, walk up to the front and I'm like, boom. They're like, is this all you need? I'm like, yeah, just bring them up. And they're like, you don't want to get no wipies or nothing? I'm like, what? She's like, it was a young guy. I mean, he's like, I'm just messing with my dad, And I was like, oh, these are for my dad too. He goes, right. I'm like, man, I don't need the pins, man. But anyways, how do you avoid that? You know what I mean?
You can't,
man. You can't. Hey, it's part of it, man. It's part of life, and I just hope if I ever get to I hope I can live long enough to actually even need them. But I just hope my kids go and grab them for me when I need them, at the end of the day. So take care of your daughter, bro.
Oh, yeah. Man.
Love your daughter, man. She'll take care of you.
She's definitely going to take care of you.
We're just talking about how wonderful daughters are, Chris. That's all.
Yeah, I know. My daughter heard that too. Now I'm all in trouble. She's like, what are you talking about? But Fowler, I wanted to ask you about how is do I refer to her as your girlfriend, your lady, your friend?
Oh, girlfriend.
Girlfriend.
Yeah. So you probably asked for a leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got to have surgery on the 5th. And so she's gonna have, I guess they have to go in there and make sure that her ankle is placed right because it's broke, or it's fractured. And it's multiple fractures, so they have to.
Oh man, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's something between 3 sides of the ankle that needs to be down for it to heal properly. If it doesn't heal properly, it ends up having arthritis built up or something like that. So they got to do the surgery and stuff. So after that, she's supposed to have, I think they said a couple months recovery. So I mean. She'll be good. She's like, she's still pissed off because I get to sit here and tell her, like, I told you so. I told you. Just stay at home. You won't get hurt. And guess what? She went out to party at the lake and she snapped her ankle.
So that's what happened. She was partying and Having a good time turned to a
having a great time, man. You know, it's always a great time until you hear that snap. Sometimes it's a pop.
man.
It's a muscle, man. His muscles and ankles. Gotta watch those. Gotta watch them.
Yeah, that sucks, dude.
Yeah, she's a trooper. Ain't that right?
Gus. You guys, I tell you what.
Hey, Jaco, I got your message, man, but you must be in the car because I got that screenshot and I see us on there. I'm gonna go ahead and re-download that image from Amazon, and when we go through our little questionnaire, because Chris has a question for me, or what did Kryptonians say? I'll bring up this image, and we'll see what he has to say about that. So,
what image? Why are you talking?
I know he just took a screenshot of us. That's all. Like, it was, you got a funny look on your face.
I have a funny look on my face.
Yeah, in fact, you know what? I'll just leave it as is. Yeah.
So what we got here? What do we got here, Jocko? This is what you said to me. So we're concerned about a football game that we obviously beat the tar out of you guys that happened 20 years ago. So they got an actual shirt, and Jocko still has it, and it looks brand new, actually. It's actually pretty
wow.
good.
Thanks, Brady.
So that's what Jocko sent me. So I guess
he sent me something similar, I guess, Yeah, I guess. So you want to segue into that
segue into, well, we talked about it a little bit, but I just wanted you to run down the rabbit hole of the government shutdown and all that kind of stuff. But Fowler, are you going to do your raffle now, or are we going to wait for a little bit? He might have had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, he went to go TT.
So what's this, J-Mass? I've gotten bombed by a trucker. I don't know what that means.
No, I'm here. I'm playing helper right now.
Oh man, you got.
Oh, I see. Good Lord, are you serious? I'm not even gonna bring that up on the screen. Do you see what J-Mass is talking about? What that is?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Go look at his thing. I'd never heard of such a thing, man. That's crazy. You know what? I'll bring it up on the screen anyway. People can read it.
Pete repeated in a butt. What? Dang. That's gross. Like, are we having a moment of silence for J Mass? What's going on here?
No, actually, I was reading Gus's thing. So Gus,
like, what's going on here?
Gus, if you want to send us a picture or anything like that, usually everybody sends it to my Discord. They're friends with me on Discord. So if you want to friend me on there, I take it. You send us a picture. Sometimes when Jocko's out there, he sends us like pictures of the sunset and everything like that, making us all feel like crap. Remember when it was like the weather was bad everywhere, and everything? Mm-hmm. Jocko's out there in Florida,
he's like he's in freaking paradise.
Yeah, this is what I have to look at. My bad,
Yeah.
Whatever. Him and Sky High, man. Some of his pictures, I'm like, seriously,
Sky is he's always in a good place.
Yeah, he's always out there fishing or something like that.
Yeah, man, fishing
on that pontoon boat. We don't see him much anymore. He's out on that pontoon boat all the time.
I would be too, man. One of my wife's really good friends. I even could say it's her best friend. They became pretty close in the last few years, right before we got married. Her husband, she just recently got married, and he owns a small business, and he actually repairs boats. He lives in the Galveston area, so he has a business where there are boat repairs and customizations on things. So he keeps trying to get me to go out on a boat. He's got boats, right? And I just don't have time. So finally, I think we're going to do that here soon. And when we were going to do that, there was a boat show out in Galveston. The weekend we were going to go do it, I had it all lined out. Okay, I make some time. I was going to make a whole day of it. And then he was on a boat, I think that Friday before the Saturday we were going to hang out. His son, was driving the boat and kind of torqued it. He kind of like popped his knee out of socket, and I know it fell in the water, you know, the worst case scenario. But anyways, I was like, dang, I guess it's not meant for me to be on that boat. But I love being on the water, man. I haven't deep sea fish in a long time. I love doing that stuff. That's where it's at, man. When you can just the water, knowing that you can die at any moment, you know.
Oh yeah.
kind of humbling.
So somebody asked me the other day. They said, "How much? Are you not going to pull that up, Fowler?"
I mean, we can. I didn't have to. But we can.
Yeah, I mean, we're just talking. I mean, people don't need to see our ugly faces. But someone asked me the other day. It was Terry, Crypto Terry. I was talking to Crypto Terry, and he was asking me about. He said taking a 2-year cruise. I was like, if I just go in the Navy then. But they do these cruises. You ever thought about that or ever anything like that? Would you guys go on a 2-year cruise?
I couldn't do that. No.
Like cruise for 2 years?
Yeah. I mean, well, that's. I mean, I don't
is
know
it like? Are you getting all you can eat food?
Yeah, I think you get all the stuff, but I think it's broken up a little bit. I think you go someplace and you hang out for a little bit, and you get.
It's not a bad deal. It's not a bad deal.
What do you do with your house? What do you do with all your stuff? You just like.
Who needs a house when you're getting unlimited food on a boat?
But eventually, your grass would be overgrown.
I think he's missing the point.
No grass. I got no grass. Don't need to do no landscaping. Nothing. Just get on a boat.
Hey,
Jacob, you are not going to bring that up.
Yeah, well, Jacob wanted me to show this, but see this face you're making here? Oh, you can't see your face, but it's about you. It's about you.
You said that was my face on there.
Yeah.
My face.
No. I think I'm sorry. I misspoke. You know, I'm sure you heard that a lot from the Hillarys. But look, what I meant to say was I wanted to see your face. Do you have one of these? We can make arrangements.
No, I don't have one of these.
You'll never have to get up again. Thanks, Jacob. He said that
live streamer in this community's dream right there to have one of those.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Well, honestly, a live stream you should do a lot less than the hours that we do it.
Remember those 5 hours we used to do, man?
And you know what? The funny part about it is when we would go to end, everybody would want to be talking about something else.
Yeah, I had nothing to talk about for 5 hours, but we go backstage another 3 hours. My wife is like, what the hell's going on?
It's dude, the sun is coming up, for crying out loud. Let's stop. I mean, really, I gotta go.
Well, back in those days, a lot would happen in 5 hours. We would do it in a sweet spot. It'd be like we would catch 3 time zones, and by that time, Egghead would make 3 different changes that would affect 3 different time zones. So it was like we kind of had no choice. It's like, oh, let's wrap it up. Oh, wait, he's taking another shower or something just changed, whatever that was.
Did you guys see this though? You guys know about this, right? Let me see if I can get it.
Oh yeah, mine should be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
A Solutions Mindset by NR Legend.
I got it on Kindle. I haven't started yet.
You see who's down at the bottom there?
That's NR Legend.
NR Legend.
Have you seen his profile pic?
I know.
I saw that. I was like, who the hell is that guy? I said it in the group text. I'm like,
I was going to put a complaint in because I usually get the hardback, but so I got the paperback. I'm going to get the hardback. I'm going to get the Kindle. I'm going to get them all. Just have them all.
I'm waiting for the hardback too.
The hardback usually got an insert that's got a picture of the author, and that kind of stuff and everything. And this, I was like, where's the author's picture and everything? But then you got it online. I was like,
it's online. Yeah.
Look at that stud. I
know, man. Look at that. Like, no wonder he got 20 kids. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you, man. He is NR. It's a privilege to have him as a friend. He's such a
he's great, man. He's absolutely my brother from another mother. He and I hit it off right away. We just think alike in so many ways. Different parts of the world, I would say the world, the U.S. Pretty much, I think kind of grew up the same as far as in our drive and the things that we've accomplished in a sense. So he's a good guy, man. Straight up, one of the nicest guys, one of the most giving, selfless human beings I've ever met in my life, man. I mean,
and we're okay to say that because he's on a plane.
That's right.
So we don't have to worry about him because it's not. He's gonna be like. He'll never even hear this. So we'll be like, we don't want to be feeding that ego, how you get it.
No, his head's big enough, but
he is very humble and very.
He's
nice.
A very humble man. Yeah. But don't piss him off, man. That's just it about the guy. The guy, he's self-made, he's extremely. I mean, his IQ is freaking to the roof. But one of the most intelligent men I've ever met. But he's from the streets. You know what I mean? It's like, don't mistake his kindness for weakness, because that's the guy you don't want to freaking mess around with. But But with all that being said, he carries himself very well, knowing where he's come from. But like I said, he's one of the most giving people I've ever met. And he doesn't have to do that. And he chooses to. So,
all right, Jocko sent a article. I put it in the chat, but it's let me see. It is. This never works out right for me. Whatever. There it is. I'm going to present it real quick, but go to that link and you guys can check that out. Where is it at? There it is. Can you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. So it says, want to live on a cruise ship, 2-year trip around the world from Florida.
Hell no.
I ain't doing that, man. I ain't doing that. We're not doing that.
I mean, now I would. Maybe when I'm retired and I ain't got nothing else to do, maybe, but not right now. I could.
I don't think I'd even do it when I'm retired, man. I don't want to be. Fowler, you think you'd do it?
Now, do I share the boat with others?
I could do it without like being retired. I can see myself. I mean, they got internet on the boat, right? Like I can see myself on that.
Oh, not the kind of internet you think they got.
Oh no, I've been on a cruise boat. Like they've had like internet's not greatest. I mean,
but you ain't gonna be streaming live,
right? I'm not gonna be on here like, hey guys, I'm on a cruise boat. No, I'm not gonna do that. But like, I can
like on the love boat,
right? I can send my NFT files from the boat.
Man, that just changed everything. You know what?
You remember that show, Chris? I know you remember that show.
Oh hell yeah, I remember that show.
That's funny.
The Love Boat. Yeah. And every week there was someone else on there. And half the time it was people I liked. I'd be like, oh my God, that person is on such and such show. It's like all the actors.
They had a lot of cameos on that show.
Yeah, it's just to like rotate and stuff like that. Then the show right after that was Fantasy Island with Ricardo Montalban.
The plane boss, the plane. Yeah, I remember that one. That was a weird show, but yeah,
it got kind of weird at the end because he had like superpowers or something.
He turned out to be like a demon or something. Whatever.
What the heck?
No, I was like, it was not what I expected. But my mom used to watch those shows all the time, or my dad. So I mean, of course, I got forced to watch them. We had like one television. Thanks to my dad, we had one television. So, what's funny now, he stays with me. He's downstairs, and I have him in a room at the front of the house, and he watches all the stuff I grew up watching. He's just rewatching it all. He's enjoying his time, and we take care of him. So it's just a reminiscing of all. I'm like, wow. I mean, like I haven't lived with him since I was 18, and it's like I'm back to living with him again. And so, obviously, but it's cool, man, because the shows were cool. He's watching right now. He went through the whole the All in the Family series. Like 7-8 seasons. I just hear him laughing his butt off. And now he likes the Carol O'Connor, which is the actor that played Archie Bunker. Now he's watching In the Heat of the Night.
In the Heat of the Night, yeah.
Now he's on those series. And I mean, I just remember it's like he's doing the exact same thing he did when I was living with him as a kid. Which is cool. Yeah, it's cool.
That's a lot of fun. There's a lot of good memories. A lot of those shows and stuff like that. I mean, that when I was a kid. So, first off, let's go back to Dan. Daniel says, I assume they are working on the cruise ship. Would you be work? Has anybody read the article?
Oh, so that's a job posting. Okay, that makes sense.
Oh yeah,
that makes sense. It's
so
like, but for 2 years. Now get to the kitchen. Go make some beds.
Right.
That's very good.
Now, if you ask me, can I work on a cruise ship for 2 years? No, I don't think so.
Working. Yeah. It's got to be working.
Just relaxing. It's totally different thing.
I remember being on a few cruises and talking because most of the employees, right? They're like from different parts of the world. They're like from all over the world, and that makes sense because they're like, "How long have you been working for Carnival?" "Oh, this is a year and a half or something. A year." Like, damn, you've been on a boat for a year. That makes sense to me.
You know what?
I love the Jeffersons.
God, man, I love the Jeffersons too.
I love the Jeffersons. I love all
Stanford and Sons.
Stanford and Sons, dude. Those were the shows, man.
I love him, man.
Man,
He
my
had-
dad's gonna be watching the Jeffersons next, man. I love the Jeffersons.
I love the Jeffersons because George Jefferson, man, he didn't have any chill, but
Yeah, no filter, bro. That's what I'm talking about.
Red
man.
Fox, man, and Sanford
Yeah,
Son,
Red Fox,
he
Red
had no chill ever, man. He was like, he would say anything, anywhere, and you know what? Everything
he was funny,
he
man.
said,
He's a great comedian, man.
yeah, it was great. It was great.
You guys remember
I'm a
that? You
huge
guys remember
fan.
that I sent you that what was it that reface of it was the Sanford and Son. I think it was Trump and Hillary. I think it was Hillary. I think, but
Hillary
anyway,
or
yeah,
something.
dude. I love Mr. Red Fox, dude. He was amazing. I loved him in Harlem Nights. You guys ever seen that movie? Eddie Murphy Harlem Nights. You ever seen that, Chris?
Yep.
Oh man, Red Fox was amazing there. The Fall Guy, damn it. Nah, the Fall Guy. Yeah, you know what? I like to meet some Lee Majors. The Fall Guy was great. What was he? What was he also in? The $6 million.
Oh, I can tell you everything about Lee Majors, man, because I was a $6 million. I learned about $6 million man, and I was like, the Bionic Man. This is so awesome, and I was a huge fan. And then my grandmother, she was like, "Oh, if you like that, you'll love this." You know, he's the son on the Big Valley, like the alternate to. Now I'm telling you, if you like westerns or whatever,
yeah,
watch the Big Valley, man, because they're like, they're like a California Cowboys type thing. He was the youngest son, and he was young. I mean, young.
The Big Valley. I have to
Maybe 18, 19 years old.
So that's kind of where he kind of started in that show.
Oh yeah, and he looked good, man. He looked very very masculine, very cowboyish.
Because I remember him from the Fall Guy, and he was old. He was much older, and
yeah, he was $6 million man. Oh, he was in Big Valley, then $6 million man. I don't know if there's something in between there, and then he was the Fall Guy, and wasn't he in another? He's in a show later on in life that Raising Hope, that comedy show. He's like
I was thinking of the Rockford Files, but that was someone else. That was something Garner, Jim Garner or something like that. But
James Garner,
James Garner,
yeah. I like that one too. And I always thought it was pretty cool that he lived on a trailer on the beach.
Yeah. But he really didn't. But yeah, he just
like okay.
Hogan's here. Yeah, you guys are taking me back, man.
All right, hold on a second. We got to get back to Jocko. Jocko did some research for us. He says, no, you're not working there. It's $2,400 a month. So that's like rent, man.
Room and board, 2 years.
You get
do the math?
food?
Do the math. Where's yeah, but what are you paying for though? You got to be paying for something.
What you got to do the math?
Oh, I'm sorry. I misread that. Okay, so it's $2,400 a month to live on the boat for 2 years.
Right.
Nice.
But are you getting food?
Right. Is that all expenses paid, or you guys to go? You still have to pay for excursions. You can only get like an iced tea this big. You can't actually get a full glass of iced tea. You know what I mean? How they do that crap.
Yeah.
So you can't go to you got to go to the buffet. You can't go to the dinner hall, right? So
he says that there are 214 ports in 115 countries on 7 continents. I mean, would they say 7 continents or just all the continents? I mean, where are you going to go in like Antarctica?
Where are you going to go? Don't go there, bro. We're not going.
That's what I'm saying. But
that's Wednesday's conversation.
The 7 continents. So the ship is more than 750 feet long and
Let's not talk about Antarctica. Okay.
100 feet wide. Well, evidently cruise ships go there, so they're doing some type of covert crap.
Well, they're not going there. They're going to a couple of places there, but not actually going there. But you get to pass by it, which is cool. I think I had an in-law that went by there. They sent pictures back and stuff. Wait, Teddy One says that. Oh, did I kill a comment you had up? He says he first saw Sandra Bullock and the Bionic Slowdown made for television. What? I don't know what that one is. Is that the Bionic Man?
I'm a fan of Sandra Bullock's. Actually, the part that bothers me about her is I've seen her in interviews and stuff like that, and she gets a lot of hate. I don't know why.
She's got the RBF face. You know what that is?
What
you know
is
the RBF face?
RBF.
What's the RBF face? What's the RBF?
RBF.
That's your gym, bro.
RBF.
My wife taught me it. My wife's 30. You're 30, ain't you, bro? Ain't you 30?
Dude, I sit behind a computer making NFTs. I don't.
Fowler's like 25. I don't know what you're talking about.
The RBF is the resting bitch face, like, you know.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
Because Sandra's like, she goes in an interview with confidence, like, nah, whatever, yeah, you know what I mean? She's like, I like her, man. I think she's a great actress, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I remember her in what was that one, Speed with Keanu Reeves? That was an amazing movie.
Oh yeah, I like all her movies.
Yeah,
no matter what she does,
she's good in comedy and she's good in action, you know, and she's good in drama.
So yeah, I remember this. This was very interesting because
love the Jeffersons, man.
That time frame. It was the Jeffersons and All in the Family really felt like real life to me because back then, because there were a ton of the Black community were like very successful. They were, you know, both parents were at home, all that kind of stuff. And they were basically coming into these old guys that were set in their ways and saying, hey, we're here too. But I thought that was a good one because I do think that there was like they became better friends because they understood each other's point of view. But
you're talking about George and Archie, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know. So I was actually talking to my dad about because he just watched All in the Family, but there's this documentary. I forgot who actually presented it. There's been quite a few of them, but it talked about the history of All in the Family and how it was considered at its time a very extremely controversial show because it talked about racial, racism, and talked about the gay community. It talked about women, sexuality, because obviously the sexual revolution on things. So you had a guy named Archie Bunker who is from the past, right? Or, had this old school of thought meeting with his son-in-law who was this flaming liberal, right? So, but when you hear about how the story progressed into what it was almost canceled almost every season. So, but it went off to be one of the most successful shows for that network. But I love the spinoffs that came out of it. Maude, you remember Maude?
Yeah.
Maude was another one. Some great shows that came out of that one. But Maude, and you've got
didn't the daughter and Meathead try to do a show? I never got along with. I don't like that
Rob Reiner guy.
Rob Reiner guy.
He's exactly the same guy in real life that he is in that show. That's the crazy
thing. Like torching. I mean, every episode, I could see if I was Archie Bunker to get into a fight with him every day.
Yeah, I'd be like punching him in the throat, man. I mean,
I'd be like, dude, come on.
But yeah, but what I love about the Jeffersons is that, well, if you watch the evolution of Archie over the series, and ultimately he ends up doing the Archie's Place, whatever. I just remember watching it with my dad, and we would watch an episode, and he would try to have these conversations and be like, look, there are people out there that don't understand, blah, blah, whatever. He would always try to bring me to a place where like, not everybody's like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but what they're doing is they're trying to show you, he would show me, look, Archie's actually, he's coming around, or
I think that was the evolution of the show.
Yeah, but I loved it because I thought he was funny as hell, But I thought he was just hilarious. And then when I saw George Jefferson at the scene, I was like, I like that guy, right?
Yeah, George Jefferson, man,
he just freaking no filter, dude, no filter at all. I love Sherman Hemsley was his name, right? Was the actor, but anyways. I used to laugh my butt off of that. My dad would be like, go to bed. I'm like, I will. One more episode, I'd watch that stuff on. While my friends were watching freaking Friends, I was watching the Jeffersons.
So Jocko says that rent is paid monthly. Rent paid monthly includes cooked meals, television, Wi-Fi. So you're allowed to watch TV? I mean, that, whatever. Wi-Fi, gym, pool, spa.
I get it. This is why Jacko is sending us those photos. He's on a damn boat right now. That's sense. So you're trying to tell us, bro, that you're on a boat? That's your job, or that's where you're at right now? You're living on a boat. But look at that.
Actually, he does swimming pools.
Say that again.
He does swimming pools.
Yeah.
All kinds of swimming pools. I mean, I can imagine. I mean, it's probably got to be hot out there and everything like that. But is it okay if you're like working on someone's pool, like you're doing work, whatever, maybe cleaning it, maybe just checking the ratios, all kind of. Can you jump in it if you're too hot? I mean, is that like unheard of? You're not allowed to do that. You like get fired, or you get.
Well, I mean, unless you're with the wife or something, you know what I mean. It's like if you're the pool guy, You know, you do whatever you want. You know?
How did you go right there, man? I'm going along.
Everybody
like,
knows
like,
that. It's universal. I could be in any country, any culture. There's always a pool guy. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You know
and
what
a
I'm talking about.
garden, and a garden. And what's the one that I hear about now? It's like the I don't know. I saw something the other day, like about something about the plumber and like them bending down their butt cracks or whatever.
Oh yeah. No, well, look, I grew up knowing about the milkman, the pool guy, right? And those would be. Oh, there goes my
Yeah, it
thing.
had happened a few minutes ago when you were talking. I'm like, what the?
Yeah, I forgot. I figured out what it
Oh,
is.
that's right.
Yeah, and it actually goes off of a hand gesture, so I can actually, bam, and it should do it, right?
Oh yeah. So this right here is Tina saying that he plays the role of Heath Barkley, and it's the Barkley family. They're like a well-off ranching family or something like that in Sacramento.
For you're talking about for Lee Majors
and it's called the Big Valley.
I'll have to check that out.
And I'm telling you, you check it with your dad or whatever. It's one of those. It's like, I would say that it was back then the equivalent of Yellowstone.
Oh wow!
So it's like back then it was like big time. Oh, okay. We got the raffle. I forgot. My bad.
No, it's cool. AAA B. And I can remember. I remember these. Like I've seen them so much. That is Teddy One.
Teddy One. That is Teddy One.
You son of a winner is what you are.
Teddy, look, Teddy.
Congratulations, Teddy. What did he win? Did he win the one that you had up earlier?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Hold on a second. So let me get back to this though. So he says you got Wi-Fi, gym, pool, spa, access to doctors, nurses, and a dentist on board. So is the dentist there for like regular checkups, or is it like emergencies? And the doctors are just emergencies.
Is that a Carnival cruise?
Wait a minute. Wait. No,
ain't no Carnival.
Hold on. First of all, if you have to have a dentist on board,
yeah,
I mean, you should get your teeth cleaned at least every 6 months. I mean,
right. That's what I'm saying. Do they do emergency dental work, or is it like that's your regular like?
The point of this is if they have to have a dentist on staff, that means most of the people on the boat are senior citizens. Okay, at the end of the day. So, do you really want to be on a boat for 2 years?
Would you not go to the dentist for 2 years?
First off,
I go every 6 months.
Yeah, but if you're like in your 30s and you go on a 2-year cruise, what?
Oh hell yeah! It's every 6 months. I have to have my teeth cleaned.
So you'd have to have a dentist there to do the regular.
Well, yeah. You know, so
it's not just emergency, doc.
That's cool that they have a dentist on. What about
I would want to be the dentist that's on the boat for 2 years because I mean my job's got to be super simple.
Set, bro.
Like. How many people are coming on the boat? They're like, "Hey, I need a filling."
Exactly.
Filling.
Well, I mean, they got a lot of desserts, but still, I mean, you got to think about that though. That guy's just set, because he's making he's actually making some money being on that boat. You know what I mean?
He's probably doing the workers, doing their teeth and the rotation.
You're right. He's doing everybody, not just the customers, but the staff and you're right. Yeah.
All right. They have a golf simulator. It looks like I got to go. I got to do it now.
What?
They have a golf simulator.
Bro, you can get that at Dave & Buster's.
Right.
I mean, that would be pretty boring, though. I mean, if you
nobody uses that machine. Nobody uses
the machine. But I mean, top deck, you're playing golf. Okay, that sounds like living the life right there. You know what I mean? You can drive 200 yards and you're not even at the end of the boat. You know what I'm saying? And you go when it gets the wind and you still land on the green. That's what I'm talking. That's got to be an experience. But
right.
But when you go to like a port of call or whatever, I imagine you'd have some time. You go play golf then, right?
I would.
I wonder how long
that I'm
you're
a golfer,
at these
but I would.
protocols.
I mean, I'd like to be able to say I played there, and I played there. You know what I mean? I like to be able to do that.
Yeah. Well, it's my sister and her husband. They travel to Europe here and there, and my brother-in-law, he's big time into going to different golf places. So, but
who shot JR, bro? Remember that shit?
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now. That was literally like the worst ever.
My mom was like, "Oh my god, turn the TV off or change the channel. I got to figure out who shot JR." I'm like, "What? Who's JR?" Like, Mom, he's an actor. It's not real. You can read it tomorrow. You can read it next week in the TV guide. But go ahead.
Wait, I was reading it.
Oh, my bad.
Oh, so okay. So the medical people there are like legit, and they're there to help you out. But I don't know if I'd go on a cruise and like start a diet.
Now, if I'm on a cruise, man, I'm letting myself go.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Because 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be
drinking
with my
too
wife.
much. I'd be
9 times
eating
out of
too
10,
much.
like, what about that one thought? I mean, I will be with my wife, right? And hey,
Yeah.
I'm already married, and we're going to live it up. I'm like, hey, I don't need the 6-pack right now because, hey, we're married, right? And let's eat it up.
Oh, so
With-
this goes back to the Sandra Bullock comment.
Oh,
So
the
it was-
Bionic Woman. She was in the Bionic Woman.
That's Lindsay. What was her? What was her? So, I forget the lady's
The
name.
new model of Bionic. No way, really? She was the Bionic Woman. I remember them doing a spinoff. I know it was her.
I forget the lady's name that was. I liked her a lot.
He's probably talking about the movie. Like there was a movie or something.
Well, he's saying the Bionic Showdown. Google it. I mean, he's giving you all the directions.
Okay, Chris, thank you for that.
I'm just kidding. So the raffle ended, and he got what do we got? So Teddy won the raffle. Oh, here, I want to get back up to JMS says, and they have 20 dining options and bars. Foodies can rest assured that their every culinary need and preference will be satisfied. That's what I'm saying. I ain't going on a cruise to go on a diet, man. I'm actually becoming a drunk. A fat old drunk is what I'm going to be.
Yeah, I'm gonna be. I need a old fashioned for every continent I visit. That's one. And anyone
Actually, for every meal of
every day,
continent.
every meal. Yeah, I just started drinking whiskey. Maybe 2 years, 3 years ago. So the point is, and it's like I've been drinking all the time. I know it looks like I drink all the time, guys, but I really don't. But I an old fashioned. I mean, when it's made, I learned. I'm in that whiskey club now, right? So I learned to make an Italian old fashioned. Oh my god! Holy crap, Chris!
Oh,
This
hold
thing is
on a
good,
second.
man.
Check. Oh, old fashioned. Yeah. Check this out. First off, look what it says. JMS says the ship also has its own microbrewery. Okay. And then I'm going to skip all the way down to all these comments.
Microbrewery, okay.
Just saw this come
It
up.
would be if it's at sea.
So you're at different port of destination every other week, and you stay there for 5 to 7 days. You'll literally have time to play golf and like visit and stuff like that. This is sounding better and better.
It is sounding better and better. I would. I mean, I don't know, man. If I could commit 2 years of not having to being on dirt and land, and have to commit to a job and all that, a company,
if you
whatever.
think about it, though, you're going and you're spending 5 to 7 days, and what did
You're paying
Jocko
basically
say?
a modest mortgage, right?
Jocko said that it was like 114 destinations. You're staying a week, 5 to 7 days in 114 different places around the world.
Yeah.
I don't know,
That's
man.
actually
You could end up for those 2 years just going back and forth to Jamaica. I mean, that might drive you insane. like
this place again. God dang it.
yeah, it's not guaranteed that you'll be like going from boat to boat and be like, I'm going here, I'm going there. You could end up you could be the dentist and being the dentist that only goes to Jamaica and maybe the Cayman Islands, and that's all you're doing for the next 2 years. That would suck.
Hell
That
yeah,
would
it
be
would suck.
horrible. That would be horrible.
They're
I'd
like,
just
yeah,
rather
dang it.
go.
Yeah.
I'd just rather go on there and see, just like stay. I'm gonna go to Destin. I'm gonna be on the beach. I'm gonna hang out and hang out in the balcony and whatever, and do that kind of stuff. But so, first, Biz says Dynasty was the show. So Dynasty, but who killed JR? That was Dallas on JR. But Dynasty was a different show. And that was crazy. That was like a nighttime soap opera. But Jocko comes back and says, I had texts that clean pools and say they were getting in to clean the tiles. Whenever I get to the pools, I normally empty them for remodels. But do you jump in them right before you get yourself like cooled off a little bit or something? I mean, I guess. Oh, Gunsmoke. You guys remember Gunsmoke?
I mean, that was
What?
all
You
about.
can't even possibly.
Well, no, I remember, of course, but
Marshall Matt Dillon? Come on.
no,
Every
I
kid
was,
played
I was,
Matt
I was
Dillon.
more into the rifleman, man. That I like the black and
Okay,
whites.
I could get that one.
I went from black and whites to the spaghetti westerns, man. You know,
Yeah.
my dad spoiled me, man. So.
There you go. That's exactly what happened to us, man. Tom and Jerry.
Oh yeah, dude, grew up on Tom and Jerry,
beating the crap out of each other,
bro. You could not push a Tom and Jerry cartoon now because it would get so banned. I saw a comment earlier. You couldn't show the Jeffersons. You couldn't show All in the Family. People, all the Karens of the world would be running away with the crayon books to a safe space because they couldn't handle it.
Yeah,
I mean, but that's what made me being able to watch that stuff, Tom and Jerry, and all those things, is why I'm not a victim in my life today. You know, I pick up my own and move it forward on my own. My point is, you know, there's a lot of unfortunately, like today's generation. I mean, they're like coddled, and you know everything's gonna be okay. You know, the government will take care of you. That sucks, man, because that's a false reality. But yeah, Tom and Jerry, man, I used to love that. I still love that show, man. I remember my girls growing up, my kids, I would show them the Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry. You know, they would laugh their butts off, man. Laugh their butts off. You know, I think what the alternative to them was like, I don't even know what's on, man. Something on Disney, I guess. But what's that, buddy? That's sick. What is that? Is that your gallery?
Yeah, man. This is what we've been doing.
Dude, you've been busy, man. You need to do a Mortal Kombat like series, and you need to do a Street Fighter like series. You know what I'm saying? You know, some similars in there, you know.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could. As long as they don't give me like some what they call it, a summons. Like here.
Yeah. I'm not saying, you know, make a freaking Ryu or nothing like that or a Ken, but you know, you could do something close to it, you know. Those are sick. Maybe some Killer Instinct, some Jagu in there. If you guys don't remember that game, Killer Instinct.
Yeah, nobody remembers that. What are you talking about?
I know you remember that.
So one thing I learned from the Roadrunner was to not be so gullible.
Yeah. Like what I learned is no one can fly.
That coyote, I swear, it'd be like, you know. Remember, I always loved the ones where he would paint like the rock to make it look like that you can drive through it.
You know, as a kid watching that, I'd be like, Dad, so let me get this straight. So it's already a cartoon. It's already a painting of a painting. You know what I mean? He's like, just watch it. I would always overthink it, man. He's like, just watch it. I'm like, but I'm so he's in a cartoon and the guy painted a cartoon. Why is he running? Anyways. But yeah, you know, I learned you couldn't fly in the Roadrunner. It's funny, man. You know, but it was funny. It was funny stuff. I loved me some Bugs Bunny, man. You know, I loved how he and Daffy would, you know, would go back and forth.
Yeah.
Man, you know?
The Bionic Woman was Lindsay Wagner.
Yeah. Yeah, I Googled the showdown. There, yeah, Bullock was in there. I had no idea. It's like an 88,
pretty awesome.
89.
I did not know that either. I'm going to go check it out. Do they show it anywhere or anything like that? Did it give you like a list of where is it on one of those? But JMass says another thing too. You can rent out your room. You own that room. So you could sublease it, like give it to people for like a week trip.
They're doing timeshares on a boat. What the? Of course they are, man. Of course they are.
Whatever they can do to make money.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it is what it is. People, if there's a market for it, people will push it, right?
So Jocko doesn't get in the pool. So now that would change my view on being a pool cleaning person or whatever, because I would be like, I mean, it's like bakers, okay, you know, and like pastry chef people. Look at that dragon. But anyway,
yeah, Riptor. You know that I'm just thinking Killer Instinct right now. I know that's not Riptor, but for those of the Killer Instinct fans, you know what I'm talking about. I saw a comment here from Rickness. He says that Killer Instinct and Samurai Showdown were legit. Hell yeah, man. Jago, bro. I'm telling you, man, that game. I used to. I mean, I'm a Street Fighter. Come from the Street Fighter genre, but you know, Killer Instinct was the next level for me. Oh, check it out. Jaco follows. Jaco says follower Tundra Warrior.
Oh no!
He-
Did
Come on,
you see
man.
that picture?
Which
yeah,
one?
he wants that as a meme.
Yeah.
He
Did you,
wants it as a
did you
meme
see it,
NFT.
Kryptonian? Did you see
No,
it?
pull it up.
I don't know if we can, dude. I don't know if we actually. I think
Oh,
actually,
yeah. I remember that one. Don't do it. Don't do it.
yeah,
Might be
we
safe for
might
work.
actually.
He's
get
talking about
banned.
what he sees when he's looking outside of his room. No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh my lord, dude! All I got to say is that when you know what, if you want to see this picture, that's not fair. It's not fair to that person or whatever. But if you want to see it, just send me a DM. I'll send it off to you. But people,
No.
you know,
I've seen
they're
it.
just living their best life. That's all.
No, they're not living their life, bro. They're living a lot of lives with the calories right there. Like they've been eating for everybody, is what I'm saying.
That is true. Eventually, there's a time when you're just be like, "Hey,
Yeah, at
Come
the end
on.
of the day, man. I mean, it's just not healthy, right?
put the
It's-
fork down." You know,
put the
Yeah.
plate down, bro.
right? Yeah.
It's not the fork; it's what's on the plate.
Put the whole turkey down.
Yeah.
Step away.
So I'm
I mean,
watching a new series on Amazon. Have you guys ever seen Bad Boys? It's from like what do they got? They've got crap. What's the I was gonna say Zoolander, but not Zoolander. They got if you guys haven't seen that, god dang it, I'm trying to think of the actual series.
the Bad Boys movies.
Not Bad Boys movies, but the Bad Boys was a series on Amazon. It's kind of like what it
Oh,
is.
Are you talking about the superhero one?
Yeah, the superhero
No,
ones.
no,
Like,
no, 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 no.
it's like-
I absolutely refuse to watch. I
it's
watched
like-
like the first episode.
yeah,
and then
it's out there, man. It's out there. But what they're doing is they're actually it's kind of like the Justice League or Marvel, you know, in real life. And if they were really here, just like they would have all the freaking issues that real men and women have, right? So it's funny, you know, and deal with all the things. But there's a new series out called Generation V. So I guess it's the college age students trying to become heroes. Well, Fowler, there's a chick in there, a girl in there. She's like the main character. She looks like that. Damn, my voice is cracking. She looks like that NFT that you just created. She's like extremely. She's very pretty. She's a great character in that show. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. But when I saw your NFT, I know it's a likeness of your daughter, man. But I was like, dang, why did you go there, man? That's actually that's exactly what it looked like to me. In regards, like a superhero. She's got a cool little power. She has superpower that she has. There was a comment I was going to bring up by. Oh, Acme always got free promo. Yeah, you think about it, it did, right? Acme
did.
products.
See, and Jocko says we should bring up the picture. She obviously went to the pool and didn't give, you know, what she looked like. I mean,
She didn't go to the pool, bro.
She didn't mind. She was out there in public, and that would be a public picture. I mean, I guess it's, you know,
Yeah, in public, there's no expectation of privacy, so people didn't understand that. But at the same time, she didn't go to the pool. She's been at the pool. She ain't been able to leave apparently because you know. All right, so there's a comment here. You want me to bring it up? Maybe you can explain it, Fowler. It's by I have it starred about the NFTs.
Oh, I'm on the Dunkin' Donuts one. Oh,
Talking about this one?
Yep. Go ahead,
Can
man.
Nick or someone explain how does the NFT works? Are you talking about the booster?
Probably the booster, but just maybe NFTs in general. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, the booster
mean-
for Vitruveo is just it just sits there. I mean, it doesn't.
Yeah, it's mainly to track, right? Like that's what they're utilizing it for. That's the great thing about NFT. All you got to do is like if you need it for data purposes, like data cell or data database, like in the case of revenue share, right? Like in the case they're going to be using it for, it's for the contract when it's time to pay out revenue share. It knows who to pay it out to, right? It can pay it out to determined to the metadata that's on the NFT. So, for example, if the NFT has, let's just say on one of the lines of metadata, you're supposed to get 10% of something, right? Well, the contract, they can write in the code that anybody that has this particular NFT will get, it will follow that by tracking that 10%. And it's going to say, okay, it you know, does this wallet have X, Y, and Z NFT inside of it? True, right? it's going to read as true, right? If you don't have it at that time, right, it's going to say false. In likelihood, when it says false, you don't get paid. So if it says true, you would get paid. It's really just a tracking tool, to be honest. In the way they're using it, they're not saying that's what all NFTs are just for. They're not. They're just utilizing it in that aspect of it. And they probably using more of the NFT, just not telling us, right? It's really upon the developer themselves who's coding. Some people can code better than others. So, the things that people are doing with NFTs, it's a different level to things. Like even comparing to probably what Nick is getting to what I do with NFTs, probably night and day. I'm doing a lot of things manually, hands on. You're talking about a blockchain and utilizing NFTs. It's got to be done at the contract level. I mean, it's too much data, right? You're expecting maybe, let's just say 5,000 people to come on the blockchain at some point. And if everybody's getting revenue share out of those 5,000 people, 2,000 to 5,000 people, that's a lot of data for one person to actually do a database on and then manually do all the transactions for all the people who hold those NFTs. But the fact that you have those NFTs makes it easier to program the contract to the NFTs. So that's what they're using NFTs for. I like it. I think it's awesome. I can't wait to see it in action. I think by the fact that it's working with the contract, and like Nick said, you can probably go in and check the contract and stuff to see how stuff is tied to each other. I think that's awesome. That's how this stuff's supposed to be used, man. It's all about that's the whole point of blockchain, crypto, everything is to show complete transparency when it comes to transferring financials or storing and transferring data. This is the solid of blockchain, and they're showing you this is what stuff used for. This is just one use case. I mean, it's tons of use cases you can use for NFTs, but in this particular one, it's really just being able to identify who is supposed to get what, right? And the only way you can do that is you need a certain set of metadata. You can't do this with a trading token, right? Like you can hold a trading token, but you can't program the individual token for each individual person to receive something, right? Usually with trading tokens, you're getting like reflections, rewards, and stuff like that. That's really based upon your wallet address, not necessarily the token itself. So, you're seeing something what NFTs can do that trading tokens can. I keep telling people, I think trading tokens are going to take a back seat this bull run. And if you haven't really jumped on the NFT train, you need to jump on and find you a good NFT project. And I'm telling you, because this bull run is going to be a lot on NFTs, because people have been seeing how NFTs has been doing even through the bear cycle. So, I mean, and trading tokens die every day. So like, they get rugged every day. NFT projects, I'm not going to say that they don't get rugged, but you can do, if you're a legit project, you can do a lot of things without having a lot of overhead and a lot of, stress over you if you just utilize NFTs first in the right way, not just putting out NFTs.
Okay, cool, man. No, I appreciate that. And I think you answered maybe multiple questions in that one, and I agree with you as far as NFTs. There is definitely, we're finding a use case for them rather than just, hey, buy art. You've already showed that with what your plan is with Gods of Gaming. So yeah, it's good stuff, man. And I agree with you. I think in the next bull run, I think they're going to do very well. It's not just about the artist, or with all the Vitruveo thing. It's not just about, hey, go buy my art. It's going to be, once you buy the art, what ecosystems that play into moving forward? Like how can a creator? I think another thing is, you buy the art, and then what, right? And then what? Like you mentioned the metadata and all that stuff. So I think it's going to be a good time for the NFT artist and creators in the next bull run.
Yeah,
I think
if you understand NFTs, I mean, I'm utilizing it in the best way I possibly could think of. Like I did this necessarily building upon NFTs because I was so sick and tired of what trading tokens do to people communities and everything else.
Yeah.
You
They
get
have
in the
such a
cycle.
short lifespan, right? There's
Very
no
short.
Yeah.
And it's so, if you're trying to raise funds off a trading token, it's so much harder because you're trying to juggle not only the price of a token, right? You're trying to do your best to, keep the value of it valuable. But then on top of that, you're sitting there like, man, I got this community that's always pissed at me for one reason. And when it's up, they're happy with me. But most of the time it's down because it's a bear cycle. So people don't like me as the project lead, right? I'm like, why is the price always down? Why aren't you doing marketing and stuff like that? I don't have those problems, right? As because my project is built upon NFTs, and with NFTs, your value is in the NFT. You can put whatever price you want your NFT to be. All you need is a marketplace. You can put it on multiple marketplaces on top of that. You're not just hey, I gotta be on PancakeSwap, right? You can be on any in my case, in the BSC, you can be on your own marketplace. Like we have our own NFT marketplace. I don't share anything with PancakeSwap, so everything that's made within this in our community is within our community. It's not, you don't have to worry about PancakeSwap selling on you or anything like that, or doing anything. It's really, this is truly, God's Game is truly decentralized. And the only way that's possible is because of the NFTs. It's not trading tokens or an exchange. It's literally the NFTs that makes this possible, because each individual holder controls their asset.
It's theirs, right? And they do with what they want with it. I get you. And it's available. You can push it to any platform, as you said. So the sky's the limit in that regard. You buy you if you purchase an NFT now, and you could literally find, if you market it, you push it, you could find somebody that wants it more than you did, right? And go from there. So you're right in that regard. There's definitely, I think there's definitely going to be, and especially with Vitruveo, I hope we're able to show just how easy it's going to be for buyers and sellers to come together, especially for the creators, right? Let me ask you this, Fowler. So you're creating, you've got all these NFTs that you're doing, this amazing art that you do. What has been the biggest challenge for you as a creator? Right, trying to get your NFTs, because you already have an idea of what you have a plan. I wouldn't even say an idea. You have a plan that you've been working on, that I've been watching you do since I met you in the last year. You've been going, you've been taking the ball, moving it down the field every step of the way. You make progress after progress. What has been the biggest hurdle for you? And that's something like with Vitruveo, if we can make this happen. What do you see that doing for someone like yourself?
I think the only thing that's really slowed me down is my ability to code, right? Like I can code up to a certain point.
So what do you need to be able to code? Like what do you, because there's supposed to be this ecosystem for someone like yourself, right? Meaning apps or modules, or I would say tech that's already available to you. Basically, you need to be able, you have an idea, you want to push it into this, I don't know, you want to do something with your art. There should already be something available to you, be able to drag and drop, in a sense. I say that loosely, of course, but like, so to code. So go ahead.
I think it's really just, again, finding programmers that can make your vision a reality, right? Because that's what, when I do things the way I'm doing it now, it's only working because I am working with a community of builders and a building community, basically, that's handling the back end from what I'm doing. And they have they have a system where you can, not necessarily, I'm not gonna say stuff is like push button, it's not turnkey, but you have to have some knowledge of code, and you have to be able to understand, how to do a little CLI and all that stuff, TypeScript. You have to have an idea. But I'm not going to say that, you have to be a like Superman of a coder to be able to make a simple dApp work. Now, once you start getting beyond the simple stuff, right, that's when you're going to need better skills, or you're going to have to find someone with better skills. And it's kind of hard to it's going to be hard, and I found out it's very hard to find builders because this space just doesn't have a lot of builders for you to take and build things. Most of the time these builders they want to build their own things, or they want some serious pay to build. And when you're starting off, that can be kind of hard, especially unless you're like, scamming people for money, or, you already come in here with money. Like it might be easy for you, but like when you're, like for me, this has been from the ground up, like literally from the ground up. Everything's been from the ground up. And the only reason that was possible because I have the skill set to be able to start off like what you see. Like you see this marketplace, right? Like you see the marketplace looks functional. It is functional. Somebody can come and buy some of these NFTs right now. But there's some limitations to me modifying this marketplace, right? As you can see, there's these two dragons here, right? Now, the reason why there's here is because I made a mistake at one point. And that mistake is there's a underlying. Oh, maybe I didn't make a mistake. What was I seeing? It's probably not playing right now, but there it goes. So there's two there's two files on each NFT, right? There's an animation, then there's a GIF. So just it is dual. So there's an MP4 and there's a GIF. Okay. So, and the reason I have it like that is because in the case that anybody who owns these NFTs, if there comes to a time when there's the option to plug in your NFT and you want something to play on a digital background, digital wall or something, it's asking for MP4 level of resolution, and you only have a GIF that's embedded into the NFT, you won't be able to use it. So I kind of took some foresight and just was like, you know what? It's only going to take me a couple more seconds to make an MP4 of the same file. And then you take that I took that MP4 and I embedded it in NFT. Now with this current one you see here, this accidentally dragged and dropped my shill version of this NFT, and it ended up on the actual NFT, which nobody wants that. Nobody wants the actual shill up on their NFT, but it's on there. So the thing is, this is where my limitation comes, because even though no one can purchase this NFT and it was minted, I burned it, meaning the only copy there was, I burned it. It can't be redone. But the metadata is still on the internet. That's where hence the idea of, when they say once you put something on the internet, you can't take it off. This is an actuality of that. You cannot take an NFT down once it's up and on the internet. You can burn the NFT where it can't be obtained by anybody, but you can't necessarily take the data, the video, the picture, the metadata. You can't take it off the internet. Once it's there, it is there. So I could hide this. Right? But I could hide this literally off the screen, but it takes code, because this is not like a Wix or WordPress where you can just drag and drop things and take things off and it just magically work. No, it's all lines of code. And that's when your experience comes to meet the rubber in the road, right? So that's when you need a higher level senior developer to do these things, because to make those code changes and those modifications in the code to be able to take that off where it doesn't display non-active NFTs. So and imagine if you were somebody who came to this website for the first time, and the only thing you saw was actually active, things with prices on the screen. You wouldn't see these because they're not for sale. So if you didn't see those, the first time you see them, they're going to blow you away, versus them sitting there and you're like, oh man, this is a cool one. I wish I had it. It takes away the surprise of things. So when people want to put these, I would rather it be this whole screen blue if it's sold out, meaning there's nothing there. And then when people are ready to sell, once they pop up their NFT, that's the only thing it's going to show. along with the other active listings. So in that case, again, a more experienced dev is concerned, needs to be involved. And that's the kind of the thing that's really slowing me down. But beyond that, once I get a capable dev that I can trust, that's another thing. You got to have a dev you can trust, right? I think I've learned through all my time in crypto that when it comes to developers, you got to trust them. And I've seen it as an investor. I've seen it as now as a dev. I haven't been burned as a dev trying to get other developers to come help, but I don't necessarily, I want people I can trust. And I think every developer should want to feel like that. And it only makes the space that much better when you have developers that are vetted. That's decent people.
I mean, the space is full of I would say developers are a dime a dozen. Not that the dozen isn't, or the dime isn't adequate. I'm just saying there's tons of them. I remember when I first got in IT, Fowler, back in the early 2000s, there was just rush of IT guy. I got to be an IT admin, that the market got so saturated with IT guys, and those that wanted to be in the IT space, there wasn't enough technology, enough different types of services like there is now, right? I can say I'm an IT, but that could mean 100 different things, But back in the late 90s, it was like I'm an IT, and it meant only a handful of things. But we're a dime a dozen, and I speak for myself included. We're a dime a dozen, but what makes an IT guy or a developer, I think, stand out amongst the crowd is integrity, right? Transparency, execution, and accountability. If you can have those things, and of course trust is all up in there, then you're going to go very far in this space, in any space, right? It is hard to find I've met some extremely intelligent devs, and since my tenure here, and I've only been when I say in crypto, I've been in Bitcoin since for years, but I'm talking about actually looking to build things, and not other than just trade and buy coins or tokens. Now that I'm actually trying to build apps and stuff, in my tenure here, I've met a handful of devs, and just getting them to show up, man, is hard. Why? Because the good ones are probably all hemmed up right now. They're busy. You know what I mean? So trying to get them to commit to yours, it ain't gonna happen, because if they know their value, they're not gonna commit to one project. They're gonna commit to multiple projects, right? Mm-hmm. But finding one you can trust and make it happen is definitely a challenge. Unless you, like you have done yourself, you've brought yourself to a point where you're the dev for now, right? You know what your limitations are. You know what you can do. But what you've done so far is amazing. This is all you doing this, no one else, right? So when you're ready to move on to that, to the next phase of your project, and you need to actually bring in somebody with more experience and more expertise to take it to the next level, you already know so much, they're not going to be able to blow smoke up your ass. Exactly. You know what I mean? Oh, it's going to take me 3 weeks. No, bro. Let's be honest. It's going to take 3 months. Don't tell me 3 weeks. We know it's going to be 3 months. Okay. Right. Or, it's going to take me 3 months. No. It's going to be 3 weeks. It ain't going to take you 40 hours. This is 8 hours. So that you've actually positioned yourself where you cannot be taken advantage of, which is good. Unfortunately, those that want to launch projects now, they're like, I just need a dev. So they go off to Fiverr, or they go off to, they're going and just hiring anybody that says I'm a dev, and they end up getting screwed. Projects get rugged and those types of things, So you're in a good spot, man. You're in a very good spot. I totally believe that. I want to bring up a comment before I forget. Teddy one says, and this is kind of back to what we were talking about games. I was mentioning like my not Final Fight, but like Killer Instinct, Street Fighter, and Teddy one says Final Fight was the game back then. Final Fight was the game right before Street Fighter came out, and then Street Fighter 2. Absolutely. I remember Final Fight. But I think the absolute Street Fighter is going to be my game, always. It's always going to be my first love. But the one game I will never forget is this one.
Preview. Preview.
That's my favorite game, man. I mean, I don't think I can ever top that one. You know. Sorry, guys, had to throw one
So
out.
is that going to be on Gods of Gaming's blockchain?
I hope so, man. I'll make a freaking Mortal Kombat spinoff for real, man.
Hey,
And I'll
man.
put all the players that I've had to have the pleasure of running into, and their likenesses in my game. I tell you that I would love to make a game. I love those games, those fighter games. But
Nathan, he says it should make Brian break his hip in that game.
I'm working on it. Actually, I'm working on another one.
Oh my goodness,
That's funny,
that's the craziest stuff I've heard in a while. But yeah, crazy. That's some good stuff you guys talking about and everything. And I especially like this comment here from Barry. I mean, there is so much distrust in the space, and people they're so sick and tired of being sick and tired, you know. And that's why I like Fowler's NFTs, and there's a couple other people out there that have some projects that they're working on that I have the privilege of being able to talk with them. And you know, I'm not one to put my name behind anything or anything like that. I might in the future, but at the same time, I really am focused on the community aspect of all this stuff, because I think DeFi can really be a great place for a lot of people. I think it can. The problem that I have is you have school kids out here telling people they're going to do something, and they're not even planning on doing what they're saying. And you need to get the adults back in the room to say, okay, this is what we want to do. This is what we want to accomplish. You know, and that's the part that bothers me about it all. It's like with these NFTs and stuff, this is a great place to start, you know, building these companies, building these next big, you know, billion-dollar companies and stuff like that. You have so many people in the space that are willing to be a part of some of these great ideas, but they can't be this, you're going to earn 4% an hour, you know, crap
every 15 minutes.
Yeah, you're going to, no. It's like, look, if you want to make money quick, let's you just go off and do your, you know, overnight rich success stories on your own. But if you want to be a part of something and grow into the future, what was that?
To go sell Amway.
Yeah. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, we're not going to get those things, but a good foundation with a future plan and stuff like that, those things are great, man. I hope that this space can do a couple of different things. Start inviting all people into the space, giving everybody a voice, and doing good for consumers, fixing their needs, creating ideas that are going to fix problems for people, and do what you say you're going to do.
Yep.
That's the whole thing, is like, you know, and especially if you start taking money from people. You start taking money from people, everything changes. So don't start taking money from people until you can do the things that you said you were going to do. And no promises down the road that if you invest $1,000 a year from now, you'll be a millionaire. No, dude.
No. Can't do that.
That ain't going to work.
Can't do that.
Yeah. You know what? You could be a millionaire. You could be, but you're not going to be in this space, dude. So just stop that. Just stop that completely.
Yep.
You know, if you invested $1,000 into some, I mean, you got to think the probability of any DeFi project getting people to be millionaires is so astronomical that you can't even go out and talk about that stuff. That's so stupid to even think like that. It's like, yeah, if you buy this lottery ticket, you're going to be a millionaire. You're not.
I got a question for you guys, though. This is
all right.
So I'm going to take a little turn here off to.
Oh, yeah. I am on their test net for Hive. Are we talking about, you guys get an opportunity to talk about Hive?
We haven't talked about it yet. No.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit. We've been bringing up, right?
Yeah. I'm on their test net. I've done a few things with it and everything like that. And actually, I have to say that there's a link that Nathan and them have, and you go to the link, and I'm serious. There's never been something so easy in my entire life. I literally went there, and I went to click to. I guess it's a link that you automatically add that to your MetaMask wallet, right? So I was like, okay, well, I'll create like just a fresh wallet. So I created the fresh wallet, ready to go. Clicked on the link, it popped up. I said, okay, sign the transaction, whatever. Done. Done. And
So
then,
you've already got a faucet.
yeah, and then I told them, I said, here's my wallet address. And Nate, I told Nathan, and Nathan's like, oh, okay, I sent you some coin. And I was like, before he finished and sent it, I had already seen him. So I don't know how all that stuff works, but I do know it was the easiest thing in the world to set up in my wallet, and going back and forth with giving him some coins and going back to me, because it uses the gas is used from the Hive coins. So I didn't have to pay anything to do that. It was just like going back and forth, all that kind of stuff. And it gives you the breakdown and everything. And it was super easy. So I would recommend as many people go out there and check it out. And
so what they need is they need to start bringing some projects on, is what it sounds like. So the testnet's up and running. And I have some insight as to who's working on it. So I know that's legit, right? So I would say that I know the guy, and I know of the guy in a sense.
I know a
So
guy.
I know a guy. I know a guy.
About it.
So, but if it's the guy who I think it is, then yeah, it's going to be legit, 100%. So that's good to hear, guys. I'm happy to hear that.
I do think that I think that they're making their rounds, talking about it and everything like that, but I don't think they're exactly to the point where they're like, here, we got testnet going on, the community.
Yeah. We're not saying mainnet, we're saying testnet, and they're
go check out
yeah,
their testnet and everything like that. And I think that they're in the next couple of weeks, you're going to start getting maybe a website, you're going to get some Discord, you're going to get some stuff, We'll see how it goes, but
I'll send you an address, Barry. Look for that shortly. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, it's pretty decent.
Legendary says, Telon says, Bob is on our dev and on our team. Well, Bob knows what he's doing. So even Nick has reached out to the guy. So that should tell you something. So good to hear that. So he brings credibility. He knows the space. He's a mover and a shaker. So good on you guys for bringing him on and being able to solidify the guy, because he's extremely busy. So
I have a beef with Bob.
Oh, beef jerky or beef?
Beef. So I have a beef with Mr. Bob. I am getting sick and tired of having conversations with Bob where he is talking completely over my head and I have no idea what the hell he's talking about. And it's like, Bob, stop, man. You lost me
colors and stuff.
You lost me at code. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about, Bob? But it's good to have conversations with him because you get to talk to him, stuff like that and everything. But every once in a while, man, he'll just slip off that edge and he'll just be going.
Hey, Bob. So Chris can't speak in ones and zeros. He needs colors and pictures. That's how he thinks. So, images and even if they're composites, right?
I'm waiting for somebody to send me a message one day to say, hey, could you look at this blockchain code for me?
Yeah. Let me get right on that. Yeah. Yeah. It looks like text to me.
Yeah. It looks like a blockchain.
Yeah. I know you should reply to them. Actually, go to ChatGPT and have them, posted it in there or whatever. But
Bob is great, but it's hard to have a conversation with him sometimes. So.
Well, he's a dev, and I work with them all the time. Devs, and they're in their own world. They don't see the world the way we see the world. They see it in code, right? So the way they think, the way they communicate is completely different. So the sweet spot is to find someone that can be the liaison between them and us, right? And
right.
that's the key. You got to find that middle guy, find that guy in the middle. So And if you can find that
Well,
guy,
when I have
the rest is-
conversations with Bob, and I let him know, look, they got to dumb this down a little bit because I don't understand it. But you know what devs are to me? You remember the movie Matrix, right?
no,
Right?
what is that?
Well, you just think about it for a second, right? When you got the dude that's always
Red
like
pill,
in the
blue pill.
chair and he's hitting all the numbers, and on the screen it's got all that floating green, stuff, right? The Matrix like background, everybody had it and everything like that. It's all
Okay.
it's
Okay.
just floating there. And the dude is looking at the screen and everybody's standing around him and he's like, oh my God. Did you
He's like,
see that?
you see the cat? You
You
see the
see-
cat?
you
The
see the
cat's
cat?
got to tell. Yeah.
And I'm the guy sitting there going, I just see the fucking green. What are you talking about,
like, I
dude?
just see numbers and stuff. Like, what the hell's going on?
see-
Yeah.
I see just like these green things falling down. It looks like rain to me. What are you
Yeah,
talking about?
they're actually saying, "Oh my God, run, Neo, run!" Yeah, I got
Run.
you.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, run where? Where? There's nothing there. What are you talking about? So I'm that guy that's like, I have no idea what you're talking about, dude. They're looking at the screen and I'm like, no, that doesn't register to my brain. But it as long as I get when I talk to Bob, I'm like, look, bring it down, Bob. Bring it down, man. I have no idea what you're talking about. So are you gonna
Yeah.
bring up this thing down at the bottom?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a.
Wait a minute. What are these comments now? I'm getting you guys listen, this isn't gonna be the get on Chris thing. Gus, I wonder if
Chris. If you copy and paste the 0 to the 0, right? That actual text there, that's actually a compliment. He says your beard looks nice today. That's actually what that means.
That's not what he says. It's
Google
binary code. I know what that
Yeah.
is, but at the
Yeah.
same time, it's like
010010010. He's saying that you actually your beard looks trimmed up. It's actually a compliment.
I actually
Thanks,
did
Gus.
trim it today.
Yeah, I know. That's what it says right there. That's okay though. Say Gus, that's my point, Gus. He needs pictures and colors and stuff. So
It's my buddy Shadow X. Was it? Bob is
What
an
up, Shadow?
amazing guy. Much
What up,
respect
Shadow?
to him and his abilities. I don't know. He must actually, when he does his profile pictures, he must be thinking of us, because if that dude showed up to talk, I'd be like, look, you got to go, man. Every picture he's got, I'm a little bit nervous. I'm
Come
a
on,
little
Shadow.
bit nervous. Yeah,
Come on,
look
Shadow.
at his picture, man. I bet you if you ever meet Shadow X, he's probably like 6'4", 300 pounds, all muscle. He looks like the dude from what's that game that just came out? Kronos is the guy or whatever. It's the
no, I wouldn't think
What's-
he looks like that
what's
guy.
the video game's got the red mark down his face.
Yeah, they're talking about. Yeah, what's his name? Fowler. Where you at, bro? You know who we're talking about.
Oh, I don't know. What's
Yeah,
that
my-
game?
my
My
brother plays that
son's
game.
gonna be like, I can't believe you forgot. The
Yeah, what
name."
is his name? I know you're talking about. I never played it, but I played it, but I never.
played it, but I can't get past like the first little thing. I suck at it.
You got to press start and start a new campaign.
No,
You're
it's
playing the
not
demo.
like-
You've been playing.
What
You've
you
been
guys
watching the
talking
demo
about?
play.
Talking about
Chron-
some game that I suck at.
Is it Kronos? Is that the guy in God of War?
God of War. That's
Yeah,
even.
God of War.
It's the game.
What's the guy's the main character?
I don't know. I never played God of War.
You may go back to sleep.
I never got into it. I'm not a single player guy, man. I like beat people up, call them nerds.
Yeah, man. There you go. I like.
Well,
I like the fighting
that's
games.
not too big though. I mean, what? How old
6'1",
is
221.
how big is Greek? Greek is what did you say? He was 6 foot or
I'm
6?
taller than Greek.
You're
Greek is
6'2",
about-
right? You're 6'2".
Yeah,
fella.
I'm 6'2". Greek's probably like at least 6 feet tall.
All right, and Greek it looks a little bit taller than me on there. So and I'm like 5'10", 5'11", depends on who I'm at with whatever doctor. That's funny because I've shrank over the years. So my son looked like he's a little bit taller than Greek. Or
Oh
maybe
yeah,
the
there it
same
is.
size.
Kratos.
Oh,
Yeah,
Kratos,
well, thank you.
Kratos.
Not Kronos. Kratos.
Yeah, Kronos. My bad.
Whatever. It's all the same.
At
But
least
the
I got
guy
the.
that-
At least I got the.
You know
game
who the
right.
voice is, right?
It's Mark Hamill, isn't it?
No, it's Christopher Judge. And where is he from?
Why did you call Mark Hamill?
The dude plays the voice for everybody.
No.
I don't even like that guy, man.
Mark
Mark
Hamill's
Hamill's,
a psychotic.
Mark
dude.
Hamill's a friggin'. He's a
One of the
Butts,
best actors of basically my
How do you
time.
not like Mark Hamill?
I don't like him as a person, but I love his work. There you
Christopher Judge is the best actor of my time. Because I'm going to go on a whole spiel about Christopher Judge. He played the character Teal'c in the TV show Stargate. And he was on Stargate Atlantis, like a few episodes, stuff
the
like
one with
that.
the MacGyver guy with
Yeah.
Million Dollar Man's boss.
And he had he
had that. So he had that. You're talking about the guy that had the eyeball. That's Teal'c. Okay, yeah.
Teal'c, he had that's a sign of like oppression from like all his people were Jaffas. They were all. But anyway, so listen to the story about how this guy gets his job. Right now, he played football. I think somewhere. He's a big guy, right? He's got a really cool voice and everything. He always says indeed. Really cool guy. So he's hanging out at a buddy's house, and he sees on the coffee table a casting note for a casting for a sci-fi show. So he reads it and everything like that. So he goes to the casting, and he ends up getting the job of this Teal'c character in this show called Stargate. So basically, he snatched the casting, won the job, and played an excellent character for more than 10 years on Stargate.
It was that simple. I mean, it was kind of just luck in a sense.
Well, I mean, he had to go get it. He was
but I'm saying he was like, bam, showed up, got it, and
he got it, and they were like, and they were like, immediately it was him. And if you follow him, if you watch like the very first episodes of Stargate, and you follow Stargate throughout the years, he turns into a young, hungry actor to a mature, wise actor as he gets older and everything like that. And then his sons, he's got a couple sons. One of them is a professional football player in Canada and everything like that. I mean, he's built quite a lot.
He's from Canada.
I don't think he's actually from Canada. I think
because Canada gives us two types of human beings.
Well, they
give us comedians and actors. Not really much else from Canada. Actually, some great engineer. I know some geniuses. Some
I know a lot of people in the farming business and stuff that.
They gave Justin Bieber
strike that from the record. I know some of the smartest men I know are from Canada.
But they gave Justin Bieber as well.
I digress.
Now he just blew it forever.
Yeah.
But they filmed most of Stargate and everything like that in Canada. And it was like a Canadian, joint Canadian American thing. Gotcha. So a lot of the actors that are there, they were Canadian or whatever. The Amanda Tapping, the woman that plays in it, actually she plays like the main character throughout. She turns into the main character throughout the whole series. It's her and her life basically, but she's from Canada and stuff. Great actors, but
some of the greatest actors are from Canada. They just produce great actors and some of the funniest comedians in the world, artists are from Canada.
Yep.
What does America produce? Consumers. Unfortunately, we buy all the entertainment that they're selling, but it says Devin Tar. What is that? Shadow. Blame Canada. Nah, man.
Yeah,
some of my best friends are from Canada.
Stargate, I think, is a great show, and the actor. There's so many people in there. I like them all. They do a great job. But what were you going? I didn't get you. I went off on the whole thing. What?
No, you're good. No, kind of before we wrap this thing up, I got a question for you, Chris.
All right.
So, you see this right here?
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can see it or not. Let me.
They're going to the moon.
Well, hold on. Let me zoom in, zoom out.
Okay.
So the one in 1969. This is a 1969 rocket. Okay. If you can see my mouse, I don't know if you can or not, but the one on the left. All right. There. You can see my mouse, right? No.
Yeah, I can see it.
All right. So this went to the moon in 3 days. 1969. In 2022, it took 6 days. Explain that to me.
Well, obviously they had to get all that rust off there. What the hell is all over that?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Does that look like? Is that literally like a real? Or is that like a prop somewhere?
No, that's a real photo of a rocket from NASA.
Retro boosters. That's why. That's why 3 days.
So let's go with this one.
I just made
So,
that.
so I don't believe we went to. I don't believe all the satellites are in space. I don't believe this. I just don't. I don't believe we went. Definitely don't believe we went to the moon. So this is what you guys see right here. Right. This is what I see right here. The trash can. My point is this: is that this is. I mean, you told this since you were a kid, since Sesame Street. So, but this is what I see. Once you talked about the Matrix, right? This is what I see. The next thing I'll show you is this one. Answer me this one. So this is the one on top is an actual Orion photo, signal glow. This is a photo from space from NASA. NASA's 60 miles from moon. All right. This is what the moon shows. This is what they show us from actual cameras. We pay these guys $80 million a day, up to $80 million a day. This is the type of moon image we get. Then you've got an amateur astronaut at the bottom with taking this from Earth. This is a picture of the moon. Look at the detail. Explain that to me. You can't. You know why? Because NASA, they're liars, bro. We didn't go to the moon.
What is? I don't understand. Is that like a legit picture there?
That's,
I mean,
the one on top. This is from NASA. This is an official NASA photo. Okay, you can go to NASA.gov, pull it up.
This is photo editing.
This is NASA's editing. So this is NASA's Orion, their whatever Orion signal gloss, whatever they called it. This is their craft going around the moon. Whatever, I forget when this was, but this is their photo of the moon. They're showing us. They're telling us they're 60 miles from the moon. This is the image they take right here.
Do you think that they're covering stuff up like there's a beast?
Hold on. My point is, they're showing us this detail or the lack of detail and they're 60 miles away. But on Earth, we've got amazing telescopes, right? You can spend $5,000-$6,000 on these things. Amateur photos, amateur astronomers, as you can see from Earth, are capturing photos like this. And you can literally go up and see this with your iPhone. I mean, not your iPhone, but you know what I mean. We can see this from Earth at 238,000 miles away, but NASA shows us this shit right here. Sorry for the cursing, but what is this? What is that?
Gasoline on lens.
Yeah. What is that? What are you going to tell me? It's refraction? What are you going to tell me? It's because it's moving so fast. Come on. My point is this.
Well, what is it that's moving? Because where's the camera at that? Is it like someone floating outside, or is that on like an arm or something? Or
sorry. And this, what is this, Chris? No, but what this is right here is this is a camera on the side of this craft taking a picture of the moon 60 miles away. The one on the bottom is an astronomer on Earth, an amateur astronomer, okay, taking it while on Earth of the moon. Look at the detail.
Yeah.
Wait, so when was this picture taken, though?
Which one? The one on top? The one on top?
Yeah.
Well, it definitely wasn't this one right here. It wasn't taken in 69. I'll tell you that. Because in 69, they got to the moon in 3 days, landed on the moon, drove a golf cart on the moon, right? And then in 2022, it took us 6 days to get to the moon, right? And I think this is the craft that they're talking about.
I actually think that Gus has figured it out.
Well,
they had to shake it.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. I was like, Kodak had problems, in the in the 90s.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They had a lot of problems, And funny, if you look at if you actually look at the cameras that they used on the moon, supposedly on the moon, the technology was not just the type of temperatures that are supposed to be on the moon. The cameras that they actually use in the film would not have survived the hardness of space on the surface of the moon. However, they still got photos, really good photos by them. When I say real good photos, I mean, first time ever doing it, zero gravity, and they're just snapping shots. Come on. I don't think so. The last thing I'll show you guys is this. So if you've got, let me turn off these thumbnails so you can see the photo in its full entirety. So space from Earth. Okay, you can actually see this from Earth. All right, you go up north.
I've actually thought about this before.
And then this is from space.
Yeah, that's what's always
been
like
in the videos and all the stuff that you see about the moon landing, stuff like that. Space is so dark. It was always so dark. Like when they showed stuff, like when they're on the moon, stuff like that, I was always like, where do the stars go? Where do they go when you're on the moon?
Oh, well, if you actually go back to the interviews between Buzz Aldrin and the other guys, Aldrin was like, I don't remember seeing the stars, do you? And the other guy, I don't even remember their names, but because who cares? I mean, because they lied about it going. But he was like, oh, I saw stars, and one said they did, one said they didn't. So someone's not telling the truth. But Telon says this, that not only the cameras, but the material of the craft couldn't make it through the Van Allen temperatures. And that's the absolute truth.
See, you're sitting here talking about important stuff. I'm looking at his profile picture to see if that's his kids and stuff. But look at the kids in the background. They're all like, Dad's taking a picture.
So Buzz even said, if you actually watch the interviews with Buzz Aldrin, the older he's gotten, the more he's being more honest. I mean, I've played him before where he's just like, a little 8-year-old kid, third grader says, hey, how come we haven't been back to the moon? And he goes, well, because we never went. He's talking to a third grader. And then he's talking to, he's on an interview with like Letterman or somebody saying, no, not Letterman. It was Conan. Conan's like, oh man, I think it was Conan O'Brien. He's like, oh, I remember seeing it, the landing on TV or the moon landing on TV. He goes, no, you didn't, because it never happened. And he's like, oh, he didn't know what to say. The Conan O'Brien, I think it was Conan O'Brien, didn't know what to say. We didn't go to the moon, guys. And if we didn't go to the moon, what else are they lying about?
Yeah, but
what else are they lying about?
Let me get here. So Gus has figured it out. It's climate change, brother.
Oh, okay. So I'm using too much carbon credits. Is that what it is? Climate change. There it is. A thing about climate change, why are we the only continent on this earth that cares about it? Because Russia don't care about it. India don't care about it. China don't care about it. But we do. We're the one. We're going to change the way we, how much carbon we push off into the air, right? Our carbon consumptions. And that's going to change the freaking climate. Please.
But they don't burn like us, though.
Have you seen India? Have you seen India? India is now going through the industrial revolution. You do realize that, right?
Yeah, I've seen China too. And China, guess what? They're all wearing masks. You know why? Because they've been sitting there burning so much oil and coal, and not in the most efficient ways, by the way, that they're poisoning their own people.
Okay,
now, they should be cared about climate change. But they
should be
because they have
climate change.
Everything else.
Not even climate change. They should be caring about the oxygen they're breathing. Because if you're right, based on what you're saying, they're burning all these things into the air. And I live near the port of Houston, right? So we got chemical plants all over the place. So every time these chemical plants are just constantly just throwing up, chemicals into the air. So we have certain parts of the east side of Houston. Looks like if you guys have ever seen the Lord of the Rings, Mordor, it looks like just dark all the time. East side, where the chemical plants are. I don't care what time of day it is. You go over there, you literally go from like north where it's sunny. You feel like, oh my God, it just feels like, Houston's just, the world, life is great. By the time you get to the east side of Houston, you're like, I just don't feel good anymore. I just want to quit my job. And what's up with life? I'm being serious. I used to live on the east side. I had to go up north. But my point is that, if China is burning all these things, and let's say specifically China, you mentioned China. If they're wearing masks, it's because the oxygen is just their air quality is just horrible. But it's not affecting. My point is this: why aren't they doing anything? Why aren't they subjecting their citizens to the carbon, the carbon consumption, carbon tax credits, and all these things? Because you know why? Because they don't care. But we in America, we gotta care. North America, Canada, America.
It's another thing like on top of this, right? So if you look at climate change and everything, that's geared towards businesses, right?
Yeah.
Companies that burn or whatever, it affects the environment. The government taxes them on that, right?
Yeah.
That's their way of taxing. Okay, on taxing a business that deals with pollutants, right? China and them, they don't care because they own the businesses. They're already in the pockets of those businesses. They don't have to tax them. They just give them the money.
Right. Because in America, they're privately owned to some degree. In China, they're government owned. So
Exactly.
Who are they going to tax themselves? No, you're right. But I guess the elephant in the room is when we got our congressmen and our politicians, the elected officials that are supposed to be representing America, the world in a sense, and I'm talking about not just America, but other countries, when they're getting up there talking about how we need to do something to prevent climate change. I don't believe in climate change, not the way you're told. I think I believe the climate changes, but not the way they're spilling it out, the way they're telling us. I don't think we're affecting it, the way they say they are. But why aren't the other governments holding China, say, hey, we're going to do our thing, but you have to do your thing too, because of climate change? They don't. You know why? Because China, they're polluting their their air, their whatever, especially India is going through their industrial revolution, where they are growing on scales beyond, as fast as almost as we did when in America did it. They don't have all the regulations that we have, and their economies are booming because of it, right? Because they're producing things and we're consuming it. I guess my question is, why is it that we have to foot the bill, right, and pay the taxes when those other countries do not? And you said it, because they own the companies.
Well, we all have to be good stewards of the planet, but it is one of those things where it's not. They're polluting so bad, and then it's like, we're the ones that basically,
we're picking up the slack. Not only are we
like the Western world, Europe and United States and Canada and Mexico. By the way, do you know what the official name of Mexico is?
The official name of Mexico?
Yeah.
Texas? I don't know. Because our border's wide open. They're all going to be here.
You think it's called Mexico, right?
No.
Mexico.
No. I wouldn't. No. Well, I've heard of Texas. There's this thing that goes around in Texas that Texas was stolen from Mexico. No, we bought it. We paid for it. There's a receipt.
But just like you think of like France, Mexico, England, But do you know what the official name of Mexico is?
What is it?
The United Mexican States. That's the official name for Mexico. It's not Mexico.
So they're the original. They're the OGs, what you're saying.
I think they were later on. I think they followed after the United States. But
gotcha.
The United Mexican States.
In San Antonio, Texas, right? San Antonio, you're thinking it's more, it's going to be owned or predominantly, I would say, colonized by, Hispanic San Antonio. No, it's actually German. The Germans have colonized San Antonio. If you actually go, we have this thing called the Boardwalk in San Antonio, which is just west of Houston.
Yeah.
If you go through the boardwalk and you go on a little tours, that you learn quickly that German owned, a lot of the names and the little towns and Fredericksburg and all these things near San Antonio, German owned. There's a lot of huge German influence in San Antonio, which is, I think it's, when I learned that, and I'm like, I've been living in Texas my whole life. I'm like, what the freak? That's amazing to me, and it's like that in a lot of parts of Texas that, we had Germans, we had some Germans. And of course you would think, like, I guess my point is, you would think that it's all coming from South America or just, we're all from, Texas, but no, it's not, and what I love about, I love German ingenuity, I know, other than the Nazis, I love German ingenuity. I love the guns, H&K, love the cars, they're amazing engineers. I have a really good friend that's from Germany. His name is Joe. He loves Harleys, and I'm supposed to be going up there to Germany, hopefully next year. And we're supposed to be riding. I'm gonna rent a Ducati up there. He's gonna rent a Harley.
Up where?
Well, I think he owns one up in Germany.
He
lives right. He lives on the border of Germany, and he lives near the Autobahn, but wherever that is. Obviously it goes off Germany, but he says he can see Italy or Europe in his backyard. He sent me pictures.
He's in the southern part of Germany.
Yeah. And he came to Houston earlier this year. We didn't get a chance to ride when he came down, but we rode last time when he was down here. But he had a horrible incident or an issue where he came down to the States with his son, and they lost their luggage. So he was here in the States for 2 weeks without any luggage. So he had to go from the airport to like a Walmart to buy clothes, of course, so he didn't have the great time that he thought he was going to have. But what I got to do with him though, is when he came down here to the Houston area, His son's 21, 22 years old, never really shot a gun in his life. So I took him to a range, and he got to shoot German-made guns. This is a German, okay? Born in pure blood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Never got to hold an H&K or a Glock or German-made type gun. And he got to shoot him here in America, and he was just like, what the freak? He like, man, he loves it. You know, he just loved that whole thing. I was like, yeah, man, this is it's not what we do, it's what we can do because, you know, we're free. But anyways, it was a good time. So now he's promised me to take me up there. When I go up there, he's going to show me what it is to really drive without speed limit. So I'm looking forward to that, you know.
Yeah, when I was in Germany, I spent a lot of time in Kaiserslautern and Stuttgart. But
Stuttgart. I'm trying to think of where he's from. He actually
if he's talking about being really close to Italy, he's probably in like Munich or something like that.
Yeah, I forget what town he's in. He sent me photos where there's like he literally took a picture of his backyard, just valleys, mountains, and he's like, just over that mountain. See the balloon just popped up on my screen. He goes, just over those mountains, over that valley is Europe, whatever. And he goes, I'm gonna take you over there, but let me take this photo down here. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something about Rickness was talking about the San Antonio have a lot of German Amish, and and I didn't know that, as far as, well, yeah, there's some Amish. In Texas we have a lot of Amish furniture stores, believe it or not. It's crazy, because do you have Amish furniture up there where you can go buy it where you're at?
You're asking me?
I'm asking you. Have you gone to the mall?
We have a huge population of Amish.
Okay,
like
well,
within
here
miles.
Okay, so what's crazy is you go to an Amish store and it's just wood furniture. I mean, it ain't like it's
candles. They do candles. They do
it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. It's well made, handmade. It looks great. Don't get me wrong. It's not like, oh my god, it looks like China
made. You need
or anything.
movers to help you move.
That shit's solid. That is solid wood.
Yeah,
and it is solidly expensive. It's like, wait a minute, that dinner table's $5,000.
Yeah, but.
And then I got to add the chairs to it. I mean,
that dinner table can be handed down six generations.
You're 100% right. I just can't. I can't pay $5,000 for a dinner table.
That's true.
I have bought a few chairs, like stools, that cost me a couple grand. And I still have them. But yeah, that was to the extent of it. And it's just they're just plain old stools, right?
Yeah.
Jaco says that speed limit signs are posted, but they're just posted. They don't really mean, not in Texas, man. Cops down here, man, they take that shit serious. So your reason why I pulled you over. You know why I pulled you over? Let me see your hands. I'm like, hey man, why'd you pull me over? You know how fast you were going? You tell me, because whatever I say doesn't matter.
I've driven on the Autobahn. I don't.
Yeah, but you're.
I don't think it's any different.
Well, you're in a minivan. I'm talking about on two wheels, right?
Yeah, that'd be fun, but you're only going to go so fast. I mean, you might open it up and go a little faster a little bit, but you're just not going to.
Well, it's not like I'm on a track, but it's going fast and not having to worry about, oh crap, I'm going 150 miles an hour,
right.
On two wheels, and oh crap, there's a guy going 30 or 50, like here in Houston. Like I can only open it up here for about 5 seconds. And then I got to slow it down, and then bob and weave.
Well, over there you're okay, but you do have like regular people, and I mean, to me it was like, oh, okay. So it's kind of like we acted like that on the highway when we were kids. We had the big vehicles then. Everything had a V8, and we had to work on them because they're always messed up, whatever, hand-me-downs, whatever. So we get them running, and a couple miles from where we lived was like an interstate, like loop that went around everything. Mm-hmm. So we get on there and gun it to the next exit, where at that time there was hardly any traffic on the highways back 40 years ago. They just built them and people were like, highway, this is awesome.
Yeah,
we literally lived on a dirt road when I was a kid, and you had to get to different places and stuff. Then they paved the road, and then they paved the next road, and then we started actually having roads. But we'd go up on the highway and we'd open it up and everything like that. And it was kind of exciting and everything like that. But when I got on the Autobahn, when I was over there, it was just like getting on the highway here. I mean, it was like, you know,
for me, it's just more of like renting a Ducati. You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna rent my Ducati. I
it
have a
is
Ducati
definitely
here, but-
something that you want to say, just like going to Sturgis.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rent a Ferrari. I'm gonna rent a you know,
Mm-hmm.
a Ducati. You know, and I'm gonna open it up, and I want to be able to say, hey, I did that. I did that. That's on a bucket list for me. I mean, why? Because it's, you know, when I was younger, that's always what I know I can do that here anywhere. I can just pick a highway here in America, right? Hell, I can rent a Tesla and freaking outrun anybody, you know, for about 5 seconds, but then my battery dies. But my point is that I can do it there and I have to worry about a state trooper. You know what a state trooper is? You have those over there?
Yeah.
The
You know
state
what
troopers
you gotta
here.
do? You got to go. I don't mean to cut you off, whatever, but when you go over there, you got to go to a place that it's called Trier. I may not be pronouncing it exactly right, but I remember we were on the Autobahn and we were traveling for a little bit, and we were traveling between Bitburger and Kaiserslautern. So I'd have to look and see where it was at. But we got off the Autobahn and we went to Barry. But we went to this place called Trier. And dude, I'm telling you, it's one of the most beautiful churches I've ever seen. And it's like the oldest church in like Europe. It looks beautiful. And you can go take like tours and everything like that. And they'll take you down in the basement. And you literally can see how the whole entire church is sinking down into the foundation. Like how it's like crooked and going down. And you can see that it's slowly going into the earth. But it's been there for like 1,500 years. It's pretty cool looking.
Dang, really? That's pretty cool.
It is really cool because you go into the basement and you can like stand up. But what they do is they let people like you can crawl up to the corner where the back of it is like sunk down into the ground. And it kind of, you can get up there and like the little kids can get their hand up into the corner and people would climb up there. And
that's pretty cool. Yeah. I want to go see that.
But if you look at it from the outside, it's like the church is like, it's leaning a little bit down, but you can see where the front doors are. They're like sunken down.
Below. Yeah. Okay. You know, I was talking about that a couple of days ago. There are things that have been built, structures that have been built that where the doors, if you look at them at ground level, they're below ground level doors. So one of two things have happened. Either the earth, you know, there was some sort of what do they call it? I forget, like almost like a quicksand. I forget what it's called. It's a phenomenon that happens where the structures just sink, or there was some sort of mudslide, right? So I think those buildings are much older than what they're telling us, or we didn't build those. I'm talking about I don't think those weren't built in the 1800s, the 1500s, the 1600s.
Right.
I think something happened. There was a big reset, and then we showed up, and we're the ones that kind of cleared the road.
I think you're right. I've even seen things where they're uncovering like
it's like because we can't even build structures like that today. The stuff we build doesn't last.
Well, look at the architecture of the ancient architecture that we see, and then you look at it now. I mean,
we have sheetrock, guys.
Yeah.
A house lasts how long? The technology we have today, and we're building plastic cars. Come on, the technology that built the structures, you know, I think there was some big reset. I mean, we can get into that next time, but I actually, thanks, Chris, you sent me that video. I finally got it of you actually on the Autobahn. Let me go ahead and play it. It's pretty cool. There it is. You're right, Barry. There's Chris right there on the Autobahn. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's how I used to roll back in the day, bro. We used to settle things in the arena. Just think of me as the guy in the arena.
The guy in the arena. Cinco. Yeah, Jaco, it is, but there's no way an entire city that went through a Cinco. There's hundreds of I've seen photos of structures that were, it's not that the structure sunk. I mean, I agree that there are Cincos, but it's how if you look at the technology today, there's no way we could build those structures today.
I think Shadow X. I think you need to get in there and time out Barry for a little bit. He's, you know what? That is actually funny though. If you think this one, I like this one better. Chris
Use
actually
Magellan for
used
directions.
by asking him.
That's funny. I remember telling this the GPS things, right? Those were freaking pretty cool at first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
funny.
something else I was going to tell you about. I forgot. There's something else that. But yeah, that's a pretty nice place. And then I don't know if you'll get that far on the Autobahn, but that would be
That's one of the many. We're actually gonna do some. We're gonna take about a 2 week, hopefully 2 weeks. We're gonna start on the Autobahn, and he's gonna take me backpack motorcycles, and we're going. He's gonna take me on a. He's gonna take me to some places. So
I know what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready to have your mind blown?
I mean, the last time someone said that, I was
got-
buying a node, but go ahead.
No, you're not. You don't have to pay anything. You just have to listen for a minute. Now open your mind up. All right.
Yeah,
how
good.
many times have you heard the saying, there's more water on the planet than there is land?
I'll hear that all
I've
the
heard
time.
that before.
Right?
Yeah.
That is completely incorrect.
Okay. And
Because underneath all that water is land.
Land.
No, what they're talking. Yeah, but
No, you can't do that. You're saying there's more water on the planet than there is land. But
there's
underneath
more.
all that water is land.
Yes. Well, what is the definition of land?
I'm just saying, man. It's land. If I put a swimming pool on my land, it's no longer my land. It's my land. It's
No,
just got
now
water sitting on
it becomes a pond, right? So my point
it's water sitting. So if there's a puddle in my driveway, now that's
no, it's a puddle.
it's no
It's a
longer
puddle.
my driveway.
Now you're right. I mean, but that didn't blow my mind. I mean, you're talking semantics, but you're right. You're true. There is
No, they're talking semantics when they say there's more water on the planet than there is
you're
land.
right. I mean, technically, you're right. You remove the water, the land's still there. You can't remove the land and there'd be no water. Where's the water going to go? You're right. Right.
They'd just be floating around in space.
Yeah. Wow. So this is what you do with your time on the way to the bathroom. You think about things like this.
No, I just it came up the other day. I was like, wait, what? And they were like, yeah.
He's like, huh? You're watching the toilet flush. You're going, huh? Where's that water going? Eureka! I just figured it out. No, I was joking.
Now, this brings up a good thing. This is funny too, Barry. Thanks for reminding me of my age. But
it was like
that is neat. Wouldn't that be neat if we were all on like one continent and everything like that? Like we really were. Like you could like travel to all these great cultures very easily and all that stuff, Would that you think, or we would just be fighting and there'd be wars everywhere and it would just be
let's just look at North America, and South America. Is it really all that great?
Well, I mean, I think it's different because so many cultures and they've established boundaries, stuff like that, borders, things like that. But eventually I think people are just getting tired of all that stuff. I think that there has to be a reason why these people are coming here, and hopefully they can fix it where they are and they can stay where they are.
We know what the reason is because they're unelected government. They're non-elected government, right? Governments are making their life miserable by stealing from them, corruption.
But instead of and I can never say I can't. I don't walk in their shoes, so I don't know. But I think that if I was in that situation, I don't think I'd be leaving my country, and they might have to. I'm not saying that I'm not sympathetic to what they're going through, but my thought would be like, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to fix this.
I'm going to fix it. Well, you know why we think that in America is because and because you yourself, you've been deployed, right? And your government sent you somewhere else to help those that couldn't fight for themselves. Right. So they armed you. You come home and you're still armed. In those countries, you're disarmed, all right? Unless you're cartel government. So so I get why they're like, well, I mean, I was saying the same thing. I'm like, well, I would just stay there and I would go against the government. And it's like, well, wait a minute, I have bows and arrows and have sticks and pitch. What do I have?
That's
farming
true.
tools.
Yeah.
right? Yeah. If you think of what happened with China, the reason why Kung Fu and they have weapon, the martial arts with weapons is because they were like, if you look at farmers, a lot of the weapons used in Kung Fu for martial arts are farming tools. All right, other than the swords themselves, but because they were disarmed, the Japanese disarmed them, or whatever, the Chinese disarmed them. So they were farmers, right? So they used a bow, which is part of a freaking rake or something like that. Nunchucks were inside. All these things were like actual variants of farming tools, and they used them as weapons. But I guess my point is, if I was in, let's say, Mexico City, and I see the corruption, or Mexico, not Mexico City, but Mexico itself, and some of the cartel, where there's a lot of this crime, and I'm like, you know what, the government needs to do something, the police need to do something. But they should help us. But those are the one. Even the police are afraid to police.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. What do you think about it?
I can't think of, I don't know what they're going through, but I'm just saying, and their situation might be different, but I know that I would try to stay. But Shadow X says real good. He's making the best of the situation. He says, if we're one continent, I'd drive all the way to Australia tomorrow. So, yeah. And Gus is asking what kind of Ducati.
I own a Ducati Diavel, and I'm on my second one. I love that motorcycle. But I would be probably riding a Bengali or something. If I were to rent one out there, but I don't know. We're supposed to go on a road, kind of like a Sturgis type trip, right? He's going to take me all through Europe. So it'd probably be the Diavel. It's a cruise. It's a sports cruiser. It's comfortable to ride. But it'd be one of those for sure.
People say that like Harleys and stuff, because I had Harleys, but the street glides and the different like the soft tails and everything. But man, I got a breakout a few years ago, like maybe 2015, 16. I had it till like 19 or whatever, 20, somewhere around there. That breakout, I'm serious. It was like I was on a Cadillac. Like I was just
a breakout. What was it? It's like a V-twin, 120 horsepower, something like that. I mean, but it's not for power. It's more for riding, right? Like long. It's not performance.
Well, it was pretty good. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the like. Let me see if I can bring it up, because you'll be able to.
Because I have the right now, my Harley it's a Sportster S, right, which is the V-twin 1250 cc.
Well, see, I had this.
That joke, it's considered the fastest Harley on the road right now, the one I have, and it's fast, man. It scares the hell out of me, man.
I had this for years. So nice.
48, yeah, of course you did.
I rode that
black and red. I see the black and red. I see it.
I rode that for a long time. I had the big radius pipes and everything like that. I read that for quite a while, but then I had I gotta find it, because that's a totally different area. Let's see here. What do you got down there? You're gonna bring something up?
I was about to, but go ahead. You gonna bring something up?
No, I'm not. I'm still looking for it. You go ahead and bring yours up.
All right, I'm just gonna find a photo of it.
There you go. I got mine ready, so I'll bring it up. So this is my breakout here. So, well, it's not mine anymore, but you see that big tire back there? It's like a huge tire, and it is. I'm telling you, man. It every bump, everything was just smooth across the road.
That's nice. That's a big front tire, man. How is that? How was that the turning radius? I mean,
it was a little, I mean, but not too bad. I mean, you just had to judge it a little bit, but it's quite a bit different than a 48 though. So that was different. But one thing is, see this little part right here, this little back part, it was in a perfect spot, and it would just like hit you right in you're right above your tailbone, and it'd sit right there. And it kind of put pressure on it, so you wouldn't get like that, that falling asleep part on the bike while you're on long rides and stuff.
Yeah.
It was just enough support, but not too much where you're like leaning back on it and everything. It was just right. But that was I got rid of that a few years ago. I just couldn't ride much anymore, and I didn't have the stamina to take the long rides. We got a couple police officers that were died in the line of duty, and a few young people that had like cancer and stuff. We'd always have some type of ride and everything, and every weekend it was like. And then we got the rodeo and all that kind of stuff. So we would do a lot of. We like the last 10 or 15 years spent a long time riding between that bike and my 48. Put a lot of miles out there, but I just couldn't do it much anymore. So, and that's with nothing on it though. There's on the other side, there's a small bag. There's another bag to put right here. So you'd have some saddlebags, and then I have a little bit up there and stuff. But that's with everything stripped down, and I don't even have my bell on it or anything like that. So
yeah, that's a nice bike, man. That's nice. I see all the bling on there, man. The black and the polished chrome on there. You know. Yeah. That's
Yeah, and then this is all digital up here. That all that is digital. It's pretty nice. And then you might be able. It's on the actual other side, but there's a whole system that I had put in there that for USB ports. So my phone, everything like that would just strap right on the tank and everything. And then the USBs would be in there, and I'd have like, I could use my phone for whatever and have my stuff in my ears and everything. And then I'd have like an Atlas or a Garmin thing. So it'd all be a part of the bike and everything, especially when we were going somewhere, dress it up pretty good, but that's all stripped down. But those are back in the days. I've gotten older.
Right, that was like 2022.
Yeah. I kind of miss that bike, but
I'll show you my
ride it as much as I do now.
Let's see. See if I can open it up.
So what's Jocko says the first Ducati that I ever saw was the 914 about 20 years ago, and it was ahead of its time. Yeah.
I'll show you my Ducati that I have right now.
Yeah, Shadow X, that's my bike.
Here's my Harley. This is my Sportster S. It's got a big fat ass tire in the back. This Joker's fast, man. It's got that bobber look to it. It had a bumper on the right, or on the rear of it, but I removed that bumper. I removed the what they call the teardrop or the signal, whatever signal indicators, and I put them on. They're on the fork now. This is very, very low pro. It's got like a bobber feel to it. I love it, man.
What that thing sound like? When did it sound?
No, it's not loud. It's not like it doesn't have the Harley rumble. That's just.
Oh yeah,
and that's why I like it, because I'm like my Ducati, and I'm about to show you my Diavolo. But the Diavolo's got. I love the Italian rumble. I love the Harley's got it's got that Harley sound everybody's used to. In fact, I believe the patent has expired. Will be expiring soon. So Harley's losing the patent to it, which means there's going to be other bikes that can actually make that sound again. And Harley's known for it, unless they renew it or something.
Well, that big radius changes the sound. Plus, I put a chip in it, and so it changes it too. So
you put a chip in it? Okay.
Yeah. So that was that now my 48 sounded really good, but it was lower. But it has that peanut gas tank and everything. It's just a little bit different about it, but.
Here's my Ducati right here, my Diavolo. So this is the Diavolo that I have. I just love this bike, man.
Yeah, I can't ride like that, man. I'd be like, well, it's like you're laying down or something. I don't know. Those are nice
well, kind of, sort of, not really. I was gonna try and show you something here, but
what do you got?
If I can, I was gonna try and show you the gas prices. This is I guess I can show you here. So to fill this bike up, it cost me $6.82. Okay. And this is a 2017.
Well, that's like for 2 gallons. It's like $3.
Yeah, this isn't a big tank. But my point is yeah, exactly. So it's like 3 gallons or something like that. But I think I was already full. But now to fill this bike up cost me like damn near $10. Okay.
Oh,
my Harley's the same way. So I hate that, I used to love it, but I love to ride, man. It's the closest thing to flying ever. You know,
1986 Yamaha FC. You know what? The first bike I had was it was an off-road bike. It was a Yamaha 80. That's back in the day. There, that is back in the day. My dad had a chopper, a Triumph chopper.
choppers, man. Yeah, those were kind of the thing. You got a chopper.
Mm-hmm.
Shadow says they're like naked bikes. Nakeds are my preferred. So I like nakeds, man. They're, I mean, it's just a sports bike.
Yeah,
It's just
check
a sports
this out.
bike with all the fairings. Yeah.
You ever? Those bikes are freaking heavy, dude.
Katanas are good to learn on, like a 300 or something like that.
I don't think so.
For if you're trying to ride like a crotch rocket, the Katana's a good starter bike. 300, not a 1200 or 1000. You know, 1200 or 1000. You kill yourself, but they are pretty heavy. But the 300s are light, right? What you do is you run that into the ground and then you go off and then you upgrade and
Actually, the best thing to do is ride mini bikes in the woods. That's what we did when we were kids.
mini bike. I remember riding a dirt bike, thinking I read it a few times, fell off of it a few times. One of my cousins used to ride them all the time. So I thought when I went to get the first motorcycle I got was a Honda CBR 1000, right? So I'm thinking, oh, I can ride a Harley. I mean, a sports bike. I ride dirt bikes, and the guy was like, "It's not the same." Oh, sure it is. You know, no. 3 gears, 6 gears. It's not the same, bro. So, yeah, I learned that quickly.
Yeah, they had guys across the street had a Marsh bike. You ever ridden one of those?
Marsh bike, nah.
Big old fat round tires and everything like that. Man, you get it. You can't get that thing stuck. You could get it out of anywhere, but it on the road it felt terrible. But it had to be in like rough woods type stuff. But it was pretty cool. It was a good bike. I had never.
You ever ride a 3-wheeler? I'm talking about like a
Spider,
trike.
or you're talking
no, not like a trike or a Spider or a Can-Am, which is 2 in the front one. I'm talking about the original 4-wheelers. Like, remember 4-wheelers like a Honda Track, whatever, like one of those Hondas, or like a.
You mean like the Yamaha Tri-Moto?
I guess. No. This would be I don't know if this is like an off-road. Yeah. Now they got 4-wheelers, right?
Yeah, but you can't turn those. You turn them and you'll flip over.
Right. I remember those were like death traps for people, right?
Yeah.
I remember they banned them in the 80s or 90s because kids were dying off those things.
Well, because they're idiots. I mean, really,
an ATV,
they were
right?
Idiots for making it, because you almost could just make a normal turn, not even be goofing off, and you could literally tip it over.
So I had bought a 4-wheeler. It was a Honda. It was an ATV. I forgot what it was. It was one of the Ranchers. It was one of the big ones. It was kind of the mid-sized ones. And buddy of mine, bring it over, and I'll show you how to ride it. He had all this land. I'm like, yeah. So I brought my daughter with me, my oldest daughter, the one that sings. She used to love going off-road. And I used to she was the one that liked to be outdoors. We'd go do all hunting, fishing, shooting. She was the one that loved that stuff. And when I was like, she's like, Dad, I want to get a 4-wheeler. I'm like, okay, let's do it. So I remember getting it. And then I'm at my friend's house, and I just backed it off the truck, and I'm in front of his yard. He and my daughter are watching me, and he's like, "Yeah, just go up over there by those away from the trees." I probably had about an acre he gave me. Just anywhere in that area right there. Just go do your donuts, do whatever. So I'm sitting there just up and down, all around doing donuts, and he didn't tell me there was a damn hole where a tree used to be. Okay, so I'm going and I pick it up a little bit, drop it. And I want to do like a kind of like a donut and kind of skid out a little bit. When I did that left turn, that left tire dropped in the hole. So the thing went whoop. And I was just like, kind of looked at him and was like, I mean, it all happened so fast, but I just remember going, it was at that moment I realized I fucked up, And then I just freaking flew, dude. I was like, here we go. So I just jumped off, I just flew off, and I did like a very graceful tumble roll, and I was like, I stood back up, and I was like, I turned around, and my 4-wheeler is just on its back. And I'm just like, damn it. I didn't have the thing but 8 hours, and I already broke it. I was pissed, man. Yeah. And I went and got it fixed, and we did it again, but it was fun. I mean, I think anytime I get on 4 wheels, bad things happen. So luckily 2 wheels, I've been very fortunate, man. I've been pretty lucky. But man, we're at 3.5 hours, man. You ready to call this thing, man?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
I think we're good. Yeah, I got to go down and take care of my dad. He's calling me.
Jocko, are you still there, man? What did you send me? It's a while ago. What was he telling you about checking out?
He sent me. It was that that photo I put up. And the little.
I'll have to ask him about this photo. I don't know what this means. I think he's gone, but check out Gus's. Gus says that the cheapest gas east to west so far has been Georgia, $2.95 versus $4.77 in Colorado yesterday.
Georgia, wow, $2.95, man. I think we're $3 here, $2.99 or something like that, $2.89. So,
well, I'm on like this club, like with my grocery store or whatever. Not like a club, just if I use my points or whatever, buy groceries, every week, whatever, and I get money off on.
You like Kroger's or something like that? We have that.
It is Kroger. It is.
Yeah,
Kroger.
yeah. Oh yeah. I was getting gas for 99 cents, man. Like a year ago.
I like last month. Well, I don't get a whole.
I haven't done it in a while, but ever since I got married, I haven't been going to Kroger because my wife wants to buy stuff that I don't normally buy. So it kind of offsets the 99-cent gas. You know what I mean?
Well, I got the last week when I got gas, I got 70 cents off the price that was out there and took it under $3.
That's good, man.
I was like,
good. But you got to be going. You got to get those points. I mean, I used them and used them.
Listen, there's a lot of eating going around this house. I got like a young boy. I got a daughter. I mean, there's people in and out. People are on munchies and all that stuff. So
we're not near a Kroger. We moved to the. I brought my wife to the Woodlands. Up a little on the south side of the Woodlands, where there's not a Kroger's close to us.
Oh,
so she goes to like HEB, which is like literally down the street. So. I wish HEB would give those types of, because we go there every other day. Yeah, Kroger's is cool about doing that, man. Like I said, about maybe 2 years ago, right before COVID, I was able to get 99-cent gas. COVID was already like $2 gas. So yeah.
I guess the prices would go down, man. I'll tell you, man, I was serious about moving to the Woodlands a few years back. We could have been neighbors.
Thank you, man. Hell yeah, man, we'll take it. You should still, you should just buy some dirt, dude. Buy a back 30. I'll keep it up for you, I'll go there and I'll hunt and I'll fish off your ponds. I'll make sure nobody messes with your land.
Whatever we do, it's land contract, brother.
100%.
Land contracts. That's that's all I deal with. So it's
100%.
It all goes. The land is in an LLC that's owned by a trust, and everything that's used on it or done on it is done through land contracts. So, but
you can do some pretty good leasing out here, man. I'm telling you, a lot of
there's
deer.
Places, there's plenty of places everywhere. If you just look at the map and you just scroll out a little bit and see all that greenery, somebody there is doing a land contract somewhere.
You're right, man. You're right.
A lot of people like that. All right, I'm ready to call it a night.
Let's do it. Yeah, my dad's calling me, guys. Well, it was been fun, man. I appreciate the invite. It's always fun as usual. I think I left you some questions like why in the hell we ain't seeing the stars from the moon, but we can see them from Earth, and why are we, can't see that? You saw that picture of the moon 60 miles away, and what the detail we get 238,000 miles away. Things to think about. But other than that, man, it was a good day. We got to talk to Nick earlier today. Talked about you had that booster meeting, right? Or the not the booster, but the backer meeting. I think it was a good day. I think we got some stuff done, or we did.
Well, the community did. Community did not, a lot of stuff. We were just facilitating what they were talking about, what the concerns were about, and all that. So we're just here to bring it all together, man. That's what we did.
Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk, right? So
yeah, we say it all the time. We name it, said, let's talk about it. So let's all talk about it. And they did.
Cool. Well, I'm ready to call it, man. I hope to see you guys. What's today? Sunday. I think we'll be doing something. I know NR's on. He's traveling, so we'll see if anything breaks. If we want to do a live tomorrow, but definitely Wednesday. I've got some more questions for you guys.
We might do a special Thursday.
That too.
We'll see how the week goes.
Yeah, after reading that, I finally got through that presentation.
Yeah,
he's got a lot of slides, but he's got something there, man. He's got something there, so I'm excited about that. Yeah, thanks for reminding me on that one. So cue me up for Thursday. So Wednesday, Thursday for sure. But other than that, guys, I appreciate you guys. Fowler, good hanging out with you as always. Chris.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, man. You know, do right and fear no man. You know, inspect what you expect. Always do your own research. Give love to all, hatred to none. And I hope to see you guys on the blockchain. That's how I do it.